Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have TJ Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. TJ Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 five-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of TJ Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because TJ Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
I'm going all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. Hello? They catching on to the bus. I got it out of the mud, but I'm gonna go all the way up. Girl from the shore, taking me out of there. Okay, I'm gonna go wave. Nice guy with a cold shoulder. You be cool, but I don't know you. Wrote a flower and I'm off the potion. Give me superpowers that I won't stop. To the bank roll on supermassive. Big bank for the space chatter. Way up in the squad NASA. Cup filled with the dark magic. Subtle flex when I run a race. Tell these rap niggas eat my dust. Lil baddie after cellular. Talking like and I would set it up. I'm a sharpshooter, yeah, Will Smith. Call me Prince Park, let me freshen up. Bay boy on a level up. Way up near the nebulas. I'm never copping a chain. Cause I see it all through the frames. And I leave it all on the pages. Feeling like they want me locked in the cage. They want us all on the fake shit, but I'ma go all the way A with it, cause I don't feel all the way safe here. Spray the champagne, shower up in the air. Stunner goggles, what the fuck is a flute? Untamed and she wide off the goose. Ghost ride, bitch, I can feel the roof. Fuck 12, cause they all on my tail. Hella wild and I break all the rules. Chill, bro, you out of line. Yeah, I know it's a mood. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the shore. She taking me out of this world, bitch. I'ma go all the way. Got the spinning, got the baby spinning. I'm my Ravens with it, going crazy with it. Got the phrase jumping up the page gifted, got the wave pushing, got the neighbors tripping, got the trap booming, jumping off the speakers. Drip on me, jumping off the engine. Gold wristed, couldn't tell me shit, bitch. No, bottle fisted. Cooking the bars, turn a lab into a living kitchen. Niggas grimace when I water with it. Subtle flexing, live a candid image. Come from punching in the S type with no license, gas load, the windows tinted. Still couldn't see me with the zoom on your little vision. Nah, we are not the same. We got different lenses. No one snapping like we something real vivid. Keep it realistic. Fuck the splitter with my day ones. Got the label making bank runs, cause the train of thought like a freight. I'm the type to get a late start. You the type to be afraid, huh? I'm the type to never have things. You the type to have it made, huh? Yeah, wave. And I keep fuel to the flame, huh? How they got me going this hard? Really, I'm the type to never say much. Vice grip, got the game clutch. Every song make the stage rush. I always said making money might change things, but never let it make us. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the shore. She taking me out of this world, bitch. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. Yo, we can put a dream, hold it down for my team. I'm afraid that I'm feeling. I get high in the ceiling. I'm feeling high in the ceiling. I've been living like a classrooms in this rap factory, living like a finish. Wait. Bitch, I'ma go all the way. Wait.
Time. What's going on, family? Welcome to King Talk. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got Trev Smooth, Shannon Rawls, Marcus White, Clout Jones, B. Madden, Louise, Hink, Sir, Rashawn, Ali, me, myself, on Lapeef J.I. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
What up? What up?
What's happening? What's happening?
Another day,
Blessed, man. Blessed.
another day in the paradise. It's Tuesday. Tuesday is some people's favorite day of the week because of King Talk. So, Rashawn, see you getting it together, huh?
Yeah, you are. You know the root. Listen, ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed.
You had the whole time to get that together. Anyhow,
I gotta see. You know,
Them waves geometry. You said they spinning, huh?
hey yo, man. First of all, good evening, fellas.
okay.
All kings, man. My boy
Yeah.
Shannon. What's going on, Shannon? It's been a while. My boy B Madden.
What's going on, Ali? Good to see you again, brother.
Yeah,
How you
man.
living?
Man, I'm feeling blessed by the best, and you know the rest, man.
Hey.
Louis,
So
what's
talking
going
about.
on, man? Long time.
Long time no talk, man. What's going on, brother Ali?
And I'm blessed. I'm
Bros, I see you over there, man.
It's Louise.
Oh, you already know, Marcus.
Louise, my bad. Hank, what's going on, Hank?
Big brother, what's
Got,
happening?
got homecoming this weekend, Marcus.
Already know everything is good, man. Everything is good. Trash Smooth, what's going on, soldier?
What's happening, bro? How you?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Clout Jones,
What up? What up?
nice to meet you, brother. Marcus, what's going on, Marcus? We back.
Yes, we back, man. It's good to see you, gentlemen, today. Shout out to everybody that's viewing. Shout out to the chat, all the Green Gang that's in the chat right now. Cassandra, shout out to you. If you want to become part of the Green Gang, click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to the sponsor, T-Channel, the Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description, so make sure you guys go ahead and fill the teachers always say. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Y'all ready, fellas?
Let's get it going.
Let's get
All right,
it.
our first topic of this evening is his actions will always solidify his intentions. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
Want to see you, we will. So if a man ain't breaking his neck to come see you, he's not that into you. There's no such thing as being that busy. A man will pop up at your house unannounced because he want to see you. That's how simple we are. If a man want to be with you, he will. Everything else is a lie. Well, right now I got a lot on my plate. Right now, no, he just don't want to be with you. So when things become complex with his excuse, ladies, he's lying. It's a fucking lie.
All right, his actions will always solidify his intentions. I'm gonna go ahead and start with you first, B man. What are your thoughts about that? Is that true? You know, mute just so you know.
Yeah, I just caught that. It's true to a degree. It's true to a degree. I believe that men that are on a mission in life, men that are that have their stuff together, that's out here building and working, they tend to be intentional with their time, very intentional with their time, very intentional with their effort, and very intentional where their attention goes and where the money goes. So I believe that to a large degree, but I do have a caveat to that. My caveat to that is it doesn't always line up. You might get the, well, I'm focused on this, or I'm working on this, because sometimes the brother may not be in the position that he feels strong enough, comfortable enough, or he's in position to really take you on in the manner that he wants to. What I mean is like taking you on full time. I mean, really trying to care for you and take care of you in the way that he really wants to. And he's focused on his mission so he can be in a position to do that. So there might be a little hesitation there because his finances may not always be together, or whatever his business is or something like that. He's just highly focused on that. He is trying to give you some attention. He is trying to spend some time with you when he can, but he can't devote immense amount of pressure on you like he wants to, because he's trying to get his house in order.
All right. Well, Trev Smooth, what are your thoughts about it? His actions will always solidify his intentions.
All right. I think it's complete rubbish. It all depends on what type of man you're dealing with. I let my wife run with me today just because I was off from work so she could see how it go. And she was like, man, we got a lot of stuff today done, right? So with the way I move, I'm always it's always something in queue, right? There's something called a hyper functioning male. There's some people who are really on their purpose, and we just might not have time to cool. We have to pencil you in somewhere. It is like that. And unfortunately, sometimes it even takes a toll on family and children and everything else. But as far as like pursuing a new woman, like, please, nobody has time for that. If you really on your purpose, you really grinding out here trying to get it, it's tough. There are men who can do that, who have already gotten themselves together in life and they have more time to play with. But the men who are trying to get it, it's not a thing. You can't do that. Even if I do really, really, really appreciate a female, she's just going to have to understand that this is how it goes. Like, any female should understand that you have to get on a man's program. First of all, that's the real deal. You have to get on to the man's program. And if that's how he does it, then he'll make time for you. But you have to understand you're not always going to get a lot of time. It's not excuses. These are reasons why I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. Like, you can't devote that much time pursuing a woman. There's a million sayings, right? You got you'll never lose a woman chasing money. You'll lose money chasing women. And that's exactly where that's at. You have to be in your purpose. And, so that this is the type of thing that you need to explain to whoever you're pursuing in the beginning, just so they can know if that's something that they really want to deal with or they just want to opt out. I'll leave it there.
All right. Cloud Jones, what are your thoughts about it, sir?
Man, I feel Trav on that, man. I feel like Boy was talking a bunch of nonsense, man. Like, I mean, it sounds cute. It sounds like one of them things that the women say, like when the women say, "Oh, if he wanted to, he would." But it's like that guy sounds like someone who really don't got a lot to do, honestly, because like, and it honestly really depends on the type of guy you're talking about. Because me personally, I don't care how much I like you, I'm not showing up at your house unannounced. Like, that's just not something I'm doing. Period. So he's like, "Yeah, we'll show up at your house unannounced." Don't say we, nigga. Who is we? Like, there's no we in that. Like, just because I'm a man don't mean I'm showing up at nobody's house unannounced just because I like them. And on top of that, like, I got shit to do. Like, I literally just not less than an hour ago had to miss out on kicking it because I had work to do. I was just doing, and Shorty was over hanging with me, and she ended up helping me doing what I was doing. But regardless, we didn't really get to kick it how I wanted to because I had shit to do. Like, when a man really got shit to do, really got stuff to do, it's like he really doesn't have time to be like focused on trying to do everything that's gonna make a woman happy or appease her. And there's a lot of guys who don't care to do that anyway. Like, some men, that's their MO. Like, I'm a chase her down. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make her happy. I'm gonna show up at her doorstep. But some guys, that's just not how they're moving. So I feel like he can't really speak for all men with that.
All right. Sir Rashawn Ali, what are your thoughts about his actions will always solidify his intentions?
I think that a man's actions does solidify his intentions. However, I don't agree that those actions necessarily means that, first of all, if a man, ladies, is showing up at your house unannounced, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, I would tell my daughters, that's a red flag, as they would say, since they use that term these days. That's very alarming. He's popping up unannounced. Y'all not married. What the hell is wrong with you? right? I just don't understand that. But and you know, as bro said, I think that and everybody's different. Everybody's personality is different. You have some men that are very aggressive like that, and then you have some like I'm not like that. I can like you as much as I want to like you, the whole 9 yards. I'm not allowed to be beasting, calling you all day. I don't need to do that. You know, when we have a conversation, we can have a good conversation. It might last for an hour, right? If I have that time, it might last for an hour because you know sometimes when you're stuck in a good conversation, time can happen. But now I don't need to be sitting there having talking to you over. I'm just that's not my personality. Um, at the end of the day. And some dudes that is, you know, they start focusing themselves on the person that they want. They want to spend a whole bunch of time, the whole 9 yards. That's just, you know, that's their personality. Do what you do. That's how you rock. I'm not going to sit here and determine, but you know, what you should do and what you should not do. But I think that, I'm assertive. I'm not aggressive. That's my approach. You know, and that's the only thing I got for you right now for that topic.
All right. Go ahead, Marcus.
So I think it depends on the stage in life, and I think all the other brothers was pretty spot on with what they were saying. I mean, sometimes you be busy and you just don't have the time that you want to give to somebody, right? It depends on what stage you at in your life. While you grinding, it's gonna be real difficult. They just gonna have to understand it and be there for the ride if they want to be there with you. If not, you know, maybe that's not the right fitment. But I think the statement will hold much truer if it added like a caveat, like if his expectations he sets for himself with you line up with his actions, then they would solidify his intentions. Because if you try and put a broad stroke over all men on what one man does, all men should do if they like you, that's not going to work. But if that man tells you, hey, this is my intent, and then his words line up with his actions, that should solidify how you feel about you.
All right. Go ahead, Luis.
I'm a little bit split on this one because I do agree that, you know, his actions will, you know, solidify his intentions. But a part of me also understands that, you know, life priorities, schedule, you know, things don't always align when you want them to. I mean, I sit back. I was actually looking at my calendar while some of you guys are talking. I was like, shit, I got like a busy day tomorrow. I know what's on my schedule and what I can fit in and what I can't. Some days is good, some days is not. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, how I would probably justify it is probably, you know, I would probably tell her like, look, this is my schedule for tomorrow. This is my schedule for Thursday. We could do something this day. We could do something that day, right? Unless something urgent or pressing, I could probably move some things around and try to make it work. But you know, you get in where you fit in type of deal. But I think that that's important, at least to kind of think about how you're going to strategize and, you know, usher somebody into your life. Because I think what happens too often is that some people will compromise and drop things, right, in order to appease their person. And that just never goes well because you've already set a behavior that is expected to keep on moving forward. So it's like if you don't do it the fifth time now, it's like, well, you did drop something before, but now you can't do it now. And they'll bring that up. So I think it's important to kind of just remember, you know, kind of set, you know, boundaries and kind of show your intention by actually trying to make and carve out time whenever you can. But, you know, don't fall off of, you know what I'm saying, what your responsibilities are because those come first.
All right, go ahead, Brother Hink. His actions will always solidify his intentions.
I mean, I agree with this statement. I mean, I don't understand why some of the guys saying the actions don't. Look, if I'm going to talk it, I got to back it up with words. That don't mean shit to me. It doesn't mean shit to me. If I'm going to sit there and tell you I'm doing, and I never back it up, how much do you think a person's going to trust and believe in you? I tell my son that if I tell you keep on him, whoop your ass. You keep on him, whoop your ass, and I'll never follow up and do it. He gonna look at me like a goddamn joke. If I strike up a deal with Shannon and tell him, yeah, man, I'm gonna do this, man, I'm gonna do this, and I never follow through with this man, he's not gonna take me serious. I wouldn't take you serious. I won't take myself serious. So yeah, your actions got to definitely follow what you got to say and do. Now the thing about going to a woman, just showing up at a woman's house, it depends on how long we've been in a relationship. If I've been in a relationship for a year or two, yeah, I'm just gonna do a drive-by. I have no problem with that. I want to see how you live. I don't want you to every time I come over, I want to say you clean up, straighten up. I want to know if you living sloppy and nasty when I'm not, or when you're not. I'm not to be expected. So I know what I'm about to get into. And if you living like that, you won't be living with me. You won't be married to me, because I don't want a woman who's nasty, sloppy, keep a house all trashed up, and the only time she cleans up is when company's around. No, I need you to keep it on a regular basis. That's some goddamn bullshit. And live up to what you say. I teach men young men all the time. Be a man of your word. Don't just talk about it, be about it.
Cloud. Go ahead, Cloud.
And so I just wanted to add to that, because I think like what the guy in the video was saying is very different from the statement. So I want to say that I agree with the statement. I just don't necessarily agree with how the guy in the video described that statement. But I definitely would say that actions solidify your intentions, but particularly when they're in alignment with what you say. So, you know, if a woman wants to know if a guy genuinely cares, then he's going to do the things he tells you he's going to do. If he tells you, I'm not going to do this, he's not going to do it. If he tells you he is going to do this, he's going to do it, you know. If a guy tells you he's going to do something for you, like marry you or something, and doesn't, that should be a clear sign that he has no good intentions for you. You know, if he tells you we're going to be together and he doesn't give you that, he has no good intentions for you. So you can definitely always judge a man's intentions if the words align with the actions.
Right, I like that. Go ahead, Mr. Shannon Rawls.
Brothers. His actions will always solidify his intentions. I think he's speaking more so in the dating and mating spaces. Like Hink was saying, when it comes to business and stuff, then, you know, your word is your bond and that whole thing. That's true. But when it comes to dating, does that still apply? Well, it depends. I can tell you this. Based on what he said in that video, that used to be the case. Because we were told that women should be our everything. Every bit of media, every song we listened to, every movie we watched, from Waiting to Exhale to Stella Got a Groove Back to fucking Boomerang, everything told men, especially black men, that women is your everything, everything. And so, how we move with her is going to determine how we really want her. And if we don't really give her much time, then we don't really want her. Well, today, that's not necessarily the case. That used to be the case. But today, it's only true for simps, panderers, ugly dudes, and lazy dudes with no options. That's what it is today. Because a guy that has options, a guy that's on his purpose, getting his shit done, he could like you a lot, but he knows, and that's what we're trying to teach. That's one of the reasons we have King Talk, is we're trying to teach men, get your shit together and be laser focused, put blinders on. So you can't see nothing going on over here and get distracted and nothing going on over there. You are focused down the road to your goal. And that includes ignoring these women if necessary. And if you got messages like this, women are saying, oh, he ain't paying it. It's not that he don't like you, sugar. He's just getting his shit together. Whereas 20 years ago, when Shannon was growing up, we were told, get your shit together as long after you make sure that she's fed and make sure you take care of her and all that other stuff. I think Marcus's answer was the most accurate in my opinion. There's stages though. So hear me out, guys. Like Marcus had mentioned, there's stages to this. So I think it's kind of half true. And here's why. Because a man with resources, a man who can afford to have certain things done for him, he can unlock some time for a woman if necessary, even though he may be a high functioning individual. But if he does not utilize any of those resources to unlock time for you, young lady, then he may not be interested. If he doesn't make space in his busy and complicated life to appease you, then he probably don't like you. But if it was another woman that he likes, he could still be really high functioning, still get on his purpose, and she still is on the back burner, but she still gets a little bit of heat. He still utilizes his resources. And one way to do that is, like, quality time is one of the 5 love languages. So if a guy is allowing her into his world, Trev mentioned that he had his wife with him all day today. And I think this is more of a single man's question than a married man's question, but it's a great segue to my last point. If Trev is saying, I love you, baby, I really do, but you need to see how I roll. So why don't you jump in the passenger seat? You can be co-pilot for today, and you can see where we're going to navigate my day to day. And she's watching him, and then if she can assist, pick up a bag, go get the food, go drop this off real quick so they don't have to park. You don't have to worry about parking. She could just jump out. Those kind of things. She's involving him in his day-to-day action world, where she's of value and being used, but she also knows, with or without her, he's gonna get this shit done. Then that could be an indication that, hey, I am interested in you. Just know that you ain't priority. So that's why I think this is a hybrid situation today, and we're trying to get men to think like Trev, where traditionally they didn't. We want men to think like Trev. Get your shit done. Get things done. It's the GTD method, right? Get things done. Make sure that that's priority, and then everything else comes in, including women. That's the byproduct. Good women is a good byproduct of you making sure you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. And if you're not even invited to be a co-pilot, where you can be used, ladies, where you can be utilized to help him get his agenda done, yeah, he might not be that into you. So that's just how I feel.
Like that. Guys, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talks. Make sure we hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor again, TH Handling Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. We're going to go ahead and keep this show moving. Shout out to the chat. Click that link if top you want to become part of Green Gang. Our next topic of the night is, do women seem to focus way more on the things they dislike about men? Let me go ahead and play this clip. Thought I had it queued up, but maybe I didn't. One second. All right, here we go. Do women seem to focus way more on the things they dislike about men?
Based on a survey where men and women were asked if they got 80% of everything they want in their ideal mate, would they be happy with that? And women said, no, that's settling. And men said, 80%, I'd be thrilled. That's a catch. And so
80% of the women you surveyed is settling?
That's settling because, the question is, what actually makes us happy in long-term romantic love? And, that's the question that I explore in the book. And I'm a journalist, so I went out and I asked neurobiologists about chemistry, and I asked behavioral economists about demographics, and I asked marital researchers.
What are women too picky about here?
Well, I'll tell you, men and women were asked what would be a deal breaker for going on a second date. And men named 3 things. They said she has to be cute enough. She doesn't have to look like Angelina Jolie. She just has to be cute enough. She has to be warm and kind. And she has to be interesting to talk to. Those seem like really valid criteria.
Ding, 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 ding. Pretty simple.
Right. Okay, reasonable, right? The women came back with 300 things that would rule out a guy for a second date. And we're talking about like another 2 hours and maybe a free dinner. And they wouldn't do it. And there were things like, he wore a brown belt with black shoes. Or we were having a really good time and I thought he was cute and he was interesting, but then he did this Austin Powers impression and I just can't get that out of my mind and I can't go out with him again. Austin Powers guy could be the love of her life.
Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Do women seem to focus way more on the things they dislike about men? I'm going to start with you first, Luis. What are your thoughts about this, sir?
Yes, and yes. I think women find too many reasons to disqualify men. This is the thing about it. Women find any reason to disqualify men. Even in the video, they said his shoes were a little bit different color than his belt. You know what I'm saying? But he could check off all the boxes, but because of that, you disqualify the potential solid mate, right? I just think that, women find whatever frivolous, excuse to kind of disqualify men who actually are qualified and dateable as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think men spend more time trying to qualify women You know what I'm saying? Is she warm? Is she kind? Is she feminine? Is she, someone who enjoys having fun? Is she someone who's faithful? You know what I'm saying? All these things that men try to seek in a woman, and they're not based on whether she wore pink or blue on a Sunday. That doesn't even matter. That doesn't even compute for most of us, right? It's all the tangible things that we know that are going to better us in the relationship. Unfortunately, all those things that they tend to focus on, the 300 list, because I think that's just ridiculous. I can't even think of a 300 list my damn self. But those items are just there to disqualify men who they don't like. They have a list of 300 things to disqualify the men that they don't like, because the men that they do like, that shit goes right out the fucking window. That shit goes right out the window, man. They even bend backwards on their non-negotiable. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and I'm a bare product of that. Like, if they like you, that list only is for the people that they don't like. So I'll yield on that.
All right. Go ahead, Marcus White. What are your thoughts about this, sir?
Damn, he took everything with that. That's the answer to this whole thing. Them lists only matter for people that they don't like, because you can have 10% of the stuff on their list. If they like you, they don't care. You don't gotta have no job, like anything. It won't matter if they actually like you. So no, I think Luis 100% right. What I think, maybe I'm gonna parlay it to Trev and Shannon earlier point. You gotta just work on yourself, so you put yourself in a position where you are that person to whoever you're going on a date with, because people can sense value, right? And once you become valuable enough in that person's eyes, they'll find ways to qualify you versus disqualify you. I like way back in the day, a older man told me, you don't have to lie to women, they'll lie to themselves for you, right? If they want you. And that is the truth, right? That is the truth. Now, we should be responsible and not put them in a position where they lie to themselves, but it does happen that way, It does happen that way. But no, that was my whole point. Luis, he hit that shit on the head, because that list only is to disqualify men they don't actually want.
Go ahead, Cloud Jones. See you shaking your head, man.
Man, it's like it's kind of hard to have a perspective on it when we got such great minds keeping it so real. Like, they keeping it 1,000. Like, that's what it is. Like, them lists are part of, it's a figment of our imagination, and I always say that because I feel like we always have dudes saying, "Oh, I can't get a girl because I got to be making this and I got to be doing that, and these women are so difficult." And it's like, nah, man, that specific woman just don't like you. That's all it is. Because, like, there's nothing that you could do to make her like you or not like you. It's either she like you or she don't, and it just is what it is. And, like, listen, if a woman really likes you, there's no power in the universe that could stop her from putting herself in your path. It's nothing. There's no force in nature that can stop that. And if she don't like you, there's no force in nature that's gonna bring y'all together. Like, some of it is just, you can call it spirituality, you can call it chemistry, you can call it the laws of nature. I don't know what you want to call it, but it just is what it is. Like, it is what it is, man. Like, we know this to be true. So the Luis is correct, Marcus is correct. That list does not apply to the guys that she wants.
Go ahead, Luis.
We had this conversation on King Talk like months ago. You got to understand, there are certain women that will view a certain guy, no matter how much you elevate, no matter what you change here, you will never be that guy to that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to understand that. Like, and that is perfectly okay, because right behind her, there's an entire team graduating come springtime. And
but listen, guys, so I hear what you guys are saying. Let me just give you another perspective on that list. Don't matter. That list don't matter at first. That list don't matter in the butterfly early infatuation stage. That she ignores all that big 300 list of all those wants and what do we call it? We say we got a list of needs,
my wants and desires.
Not desires. It's another word. I'm having
negotiables and non-negotiables.
Negotiables.
Yeah, but either way, the optional shit, that long list, She ignores that for the nigga that she kind of likes right now. She's like, I don't care about all that. I like him. But here's the thing. That list becomes real prevalent the longer you be with him. It starts off like she ignored all of this other kind of stuff until she gets comfortable. See, this is the whole thing about how women switch. And the woman that I met became somebody different later on. She was, because to be honest with you, I've had women, man, cry over the thought of me not fucking with him no more. I mean, just like damn near going, you know, like, oh my God, I can't, I love you. I want to be with you. I want you to marry me, blah, blah, blah. And I've been with some of them women long term. And then over time it became, damn, where's all that excitement that you had earlier on? Where was that excitement? Don't you remember when you said, here, look, they'd be like, damn, I wrote that. I show them a text message from some years back. Because I got some text, I keep all my text messages in iCloud. So I got my shit going back to 2010. I got 14 years worth of iMessages in my phone. And they're surprised at some of the shit that they say. And I'll be like, yeah, you said that. But once you got comfortable with me and once you got settled in, all of a sudden, those things that made you feel all, you know, crazy for me, crazy in love, you're not crazy in love no more. And suddenly you start looking at that list. And me, you know, personally, I believe that I provide 80% of what most women want. I got the height, I got the body, I got the look, I got the money, I got all the stuff that women want. But here's the thing, let me give you guys this insight. I'm bald, but I'm not bald by choice. I got male pattern baldness. I lost my hair at 25. And I met a woman that said, I love a man, I love a bald head man, but I want him to be bald by choice. And I was like, what? So you want a bald nigga, you like the bald brothers and all that kind of stuff, but you want him to be able to grow hair if he wants to, whether he wants to or not. And I was thinking to myself, and this is the chick that I was thinking about digging, getting into and whatnot, but her thing was, and everything else was good, but because I'm not bald by choice, to her, it speaks to what that woman was talking about in the video. And another thing is, one of the issues that women want oftentimes is contradictory to other things that she wants in that same man. Two of those often being money and time. See, they want you to have resources and they want you to have money and to be able to go here and go there and travel here and buy this and no. But then when it comes to time, and you got to go out and make that money to do that kind of stuff, she wants you to also have time. So you want me to be available and rich? What are you talking about? You want me to have, that's not how that works. But in delusion land where a lot of women live, in delusion land where a lot of women live, they are comfortable living there and shit. They seem to think that men should have all the time in the world for her and all the money in the world to spend, which is crazy. So,
but Shannon, that right there is the issue. It's not that they think that; it's that they're conditioned to believe that. There are a lot of hallmarks. There are a lot of hallmarks that are presented from when they're very young all the way into their 20s and beyond that. They're conditioned to believe that we have this infinite amount of time, like that. If we're doing something, it automatically disappears, and we're rushing to their front door. It's just not the truth, and it's and sort of when they get out here and they realize that it's like, oh, he don't have no time. He's never around. Oh, he must not be interested. No, it's like he's putting himself in the position that he needs to be, like we stated earlier at the beginning of the show.
I don't care
where he has to be, but unfortunately, they don't see that hindsight. You know what I'm saying? And sort of it kind of it almost becomes this sort of known statement where women don't care, you know what I'm saying, how you do it. They just care that it's done. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They don't care about the process.
They don't give a fuck about the process. They care about.
They don't give a fuck. Women. The women. They see them. They don't ask, how do you make the money? They don't ask where it comes from. They don't even want to look at the balance sheet. They just want to know that it can be purchased. It's crazy. And a lot of these women, especially the ones that's pretty, they seem to think women have this not me attitude when it comes to being. It's like, I feel that women need to settle. You better settle, because I know that you all think that you qualify for something that you don't, but you all also have this not me attitude, and you think You think you are going to end up differently than the women that I've known for 20 years because they was finer than you. In our version of fine in 1995, she was better than you are today. And she a mess now, but somehow you think you're not going to end up like her in the future. And that's not how that works. But that's what women are conditioned, you know, so it's really wild. But I did want to let you brothers know that list don't matter to the woman to the guy that she wants at first. But over time, let that dude, let her and him get together and see how that list starts to fucking suddenly show up after he didn't got comfortable and he didn't cuffed her and he didn't locked her down. He may have married her. He may have put a baby in it and all of that. And then suddenly that list rears its ugly head. And if he's missing some of those items on that list, even though she wanted his ass real bad at first, she's going to find a way to get rid of him because he's not doing certain things on that list that didn't even matter when they first met.
All right. Go ahead, Rashawn Ali.
Man, I mean, how do you go behind what was just said? I mean, yeah, you already know what it is when they really like, as Shannon said, that list don't, to the ones that they like in the beginning, you know, that list doesn't matter. But when it's a saying that that they say when love is thick, faults are thin. But when love is thin, faults are thick. Right? So then now in the beginning, that beginning stage is lit. But then when that love things start becoming jaded to you, then you're like, you know, you start bringing up the things that they start bringing up the things that they didn't, quote unquote, that they didn't like. And sometimes I wouldn't even say that they have a huge problem with something, but it's self-sabotaging. Like you know, everybody likes to put themselves in a victim's position of why something is not working out. You know, because I try to make it work, but you know, I really didn't like it, and he got this problem, and then there's also a whole bunch of different things, you know. That list, that's, as Shannon said, that list started rearing in towards the end. So I definitely agree with this wholeheartedly. And and that's the problem in general. People do focus on the wrong things instead of the things that actually really matters the most. You know, at the end of the day, like you gotta focus on the things that really matters in life. Like she said, because the shoes didn't match the belt. Like, come on now, she's the problem. Somebody that's doing that, you judging the man off that, and that's why you don't like him, and you wasn't really feeling him. And you know what? Some things are all right. Ladies, if you just want to be with the man that you feel as though that you can go ahead. But like Shannon said, you know, you look at the long term of things. Those women like that doesn't seem to be happy. You go look at them today. They've been wishing that they made different moves. They've been wishing that they settled for things that, you know, as Shannon say, he think that women should settle. I think people should settle on the best part. Stop focusing on the poor part. Focus on the best part of things that actually really matter. So that's just my take on that.
Let me ask you guys a question, because Shannon had brought this part about settling, and so did you, Ali. Okay, I got into a debate the other day. Do you guys feel that men should date down and women should always date up?
No.
Yes.
I don't agree.
Absolutely.
Dating.
Yes.
When you say dating down, what do you
That's
mean?
what we particularly do. We
What do you mean
particularly do that. We tend to do that. You know, when women are always trying to date up because they're naturally hypergamous. Period. They want to find someone that has resources. They want somebody that has leverage. They want someone that has the things that can provide the type of life they want to live. And with men, you know, we want somebody to look good next to us, someone that gives us the sexual access that we want. We want somebody that's competent. You know, I just think, I don't know if it's necessarily dating down. I think we're just men and women. We're just judged off a different rubric. That's what it comes to.
What do you mean when you say? And the reason why I say I don't subscribe to that is because I never met a woman that I wasn't qualified for. I don't know what that looks like. I just don't know what that. I just don't. With all due respect.
Really?
Okay, so
what do you mean about men dating down?
let me try and answer the question. I think that my answer might have the response in it that can make a little more sense.
Go ahead.
So I 100% think that that's valid for this simple reason. I think the way men experience love comes in a way of respect and admiration, and the way women experience love comes in the form of like care and like empathy, and like it's a form of fragility, but it's not really fragile. It's like you really showing a lot of what would be the best word? Intimacy, right? So it's like emotional intimacy, sexual intimacy, but it's an intimate way that you experience it from, and it comes in that form of self-sacrifice from men though. So in a relationship where she looks up to you, it's easier for you to respect somebody you look up to and value. It's easier for you to follow the lead of somebody that you feel would be like your superior, like a better person than you. What you tend to see is when you flip that dynamic and a woman is in a position where she looks down on the man, that usually ends in her being extremely disrespectful, which results in the man not feeling like he's loved. And because of that, those relationships, either she gets frustrated because he's not the type of man she wants, or he finally has enough of being treated in a way that's not how a man feels love, and that relationship breaks up.
I get that part, but I'm asking you. My question is this, and I agree with that regarding the woman dynamic. It's in my pin on my Instagram that a woman should always be looking up. But my question to you is, what does it look like that a man is dating up? I'm just trying to figure that out.
Like Nicki Minaj and her husband. That might be an example of her dating up.
Qualified for me. Nicki Minaj.
I mean, again, like I believe we're judged differently, Ali. I don't think men are less necessarily just dating up.
But that's my point.
You know what I'm saying? Just the idea of it just doesn't really sit well.
It might not fit for men like us, right? But there are subgroups of men who place themselves. I was on the panel the other day with we interviewed this thing about betas and alphas on Jubilee, right? Or we reviewed the video, and those men said that they prefer for their woman to either be their equal partner or to let her lead them at a lot of times, right? In those situations, that woman would be dating down. He is following her lead, and by him doing that, it's certain type of women who can deal with that type of relationship. I don't think it's most. I think they're outliers. And I think those type of relationships usually last. In fact, I think it happens more when women talk about they settled. They 9 times out of 10 in their mind feel that they're dating down. That's like a real implication.
Kind of going back to the video.
So real quick, when to put this in a nutshell, it's one word: socioeconomic.
That's what that's what they refer to.
Yeah, when in the dating and mating spaces, when we talk about dating up or dating down, date on your level, are you average? Are you above average? You below average? It's strictly socioeconomic. And what socioeconomic is, for those that don't know, it's income, education, employment, and social status. What is your level of income? What is your level of education? You know, college and whatnot, degrees. Where are you currently working? What's your current level of employment? Are you employable? And do you have a glass ceiling? Are you a cashier at Target and that's the best you're gonna be? You know, and then of course social status. How are you in the community? Do people even like you and shit? Do you even know anybody? Does anybody follow you? Do you have anything worth saying that somebody even listens to? So socioeconomic is what the definition of what you're looking for, Ali.
Okay, so that's the scale. In other words, that's the metrics that people are using, which goes back to my beginning statement. I never met a woman in my life that I felt as though she was superior to me, ever. That never happened. Just never happened.
That's great, Ali. But when it comes to, I guess, the rubric that they're going off of, like what Shan just said, I mean, the audience can sit up there and say, what if you ran into Beyonce and she's divorced from Jay-Z or something like that? Are you dating up at that point?
I never looked
Or
at.
is she dating down? I mean,
I would
how do
never.
you answer that?
But be mad at. I never looked at a woman superior to me.
I understand that because you like to lead your household.
No,
But based off
no.
of
It's not that I like to lead my household. My number one thing is I have a thorough knowledge of myself. I know who I am, I know my purpose in life, right?
Right.
At the end of the day. And I don't. So I never met a woman really that's leading me spiritually, leading me mentally, right? That never happened, right? Not that there's not women who aren't spiritually intelligent or mentally intelligent, but I'm talking about like wrapping circles around me and all. That never happened. Now
It's again
women that made more money than me,
right. It's not
more money than me.
That's
but
nice. So
it's not about that though.
answer.
It's about how she views you. It's not
Right,
if you think you're better than her. It's about
Not
how
about
she
how
views
she views
you.
you.
Exactly.
It's not about how she views you.
And I never met a woman that I was sitting down that I was dating with, right? That me and her was dating, that she felt as though that she was superior to me. I never was treated that way respectfully, because normally when they start feeling as though when they feel as though that they are looking down on you, that they superior to you, they become disrespectful. I never ran across none of that. So me and my team and my circle, the people who I hang around with, we don't have none of that. So when you hear like a lot of men complaining, oh, she talking to me crazy, I just don't know none of that. I'm not the nigga that they be like, nigga, shut the hell up. That's not me.
Can't expect me to take you seriously.
We all share that.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just call a spade a spade. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Ali can answer it how you want to answer it. I'm gonna answer the question for you. I'm telling you right now, if Rihanna come my damn way, I'm dating the fuck up. Okay, and that's just what it is. I'm putting it on the table. I got to do a shoot with her the next week. If she look at me a certain way, it's over with. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all can sit up here and say what y'all want to say about B Madden, but I'll be up there in the mansion, billionaire status. I don't give a fuck. That's just what it is. I dated up. Yes, I did.
Look,
Rashawn, I share the same self-confidence, but
just gonna say,
issue,
and I'm that nigga.
Nah,
I'm that nigga though. I'm that nigga. But
the issue isn't how I feel about myself at the same token. Like how you described that there are women who feel away and become disrespectful. I think that's an example of like what I was mentioning earlier, when women claim that they've settled. That's when the disrespect comes in. It does not come in because of the way we experience love. When they actually love you and respect you, they don't operate that way. A woman that feels that she's much better than you typically will not respect you within the relationship. That's how a lot of these issues arise. I think that's what we've been touching on. I think men don't know how to identify. I think men don't know how to identify a lot of times when they're being disrespected, because a lot of times, like when we talk about the definition of simps, a lot of times, and they try and throw me in there, they throw you in there too. But the truth is, the people who are dating women that disrespect them, right, on a regular, are actually fit to that definition.
Again,
very true.
I get all of that. Again, see, it's dealing with me in live is totally different. You feel me? At the end of the day, I have nothing to do with jokers.
I'll see y'all at the Super Bowl. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Hey, yo,
y'all at the Super Bowl.
Madden, you were just talking about on the financial. What
are you talking about?
No, look, I feel what he's saying though.
No, I'm going off of shit.
I want to add something
that he just laid out. It's
say
social,
this.
economic, educational, money, all that stuff. I'm going off of that particular rubric. Is all I'm saying.
All right, hold on. We're gonna go to Cloud then, Luis. Go ahead, Cloud.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel what Rashawn's saying, because like something Marcus said is what kind of led me over that direction. Because Marcus said, well, it matters how she feels about you, and I completely disagree with that. I think it matters completely how you feel about how she feels about you, and I think that women have a good barometer to be able to judge how you feel about how she feels about you, right? And so if she don't like you and you have a problem with that, she'll know and she'll smell it on you and think you're weak. If she not feeling you and you don't give a fuck, something about that's gonna intrigue her. something about that is going to catch your attention. Why? Because it's the fact that she doesn't have the leverage over you and she doesn't have the influence over you that's actually intriguing. It's not about how she perceives your status level. It's about how you perceive your status level. And unfortunately, a lot of men change the way they perceive their status level when they're confronted with a woman who has a high status or has a lot of things. So what happens? So a lot of times, I could say this, right? It's not that the woman looks down on the guy who makes less money than her. A lot of time, it's the dude who makes less money than a woman feels like less, and because he feels like less,
That's
he
true.
acts like less. But if the dude doesn't give a fuck how much money she makes and he feels like he's that dude regardless, it has no impact on him. It literally has no effect because
Man,
she could try to act like, oh, I'm getting money into him. He doesn't care. It's not gonna. What difference does it make? I don't view you as greater than me just because you get a bigger bag because I don't define my own status based off of my bag. A lot of men today define their status based off of what they can accumulate and what they have, and that's not what your manhood is. That's completely not what your manhood is. So it's like they see a woman with stuff and they say, "Oh, she got stuff. She got more stuff than me, so I'm dating up." No, that's not how it works. Because the stuff she got on the outside can't match the stuff you got on the inside. That's what makes you a man.
Facts.
bro, y'all,
100% agree. I 100% agree with y'all. The issue is this. The issue is this, though.
it's, the thing about it is, I don't allow people to. She don't determine me. I'm not.
No, not at all.
I'm not determined about because of somebody make more money than me.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro,
I think that's what
Right.
Cloud's saying though. That's what Cloud's getting at.
And Joe hit it right on the nose. It doesn't. I'm telling you what you like. You ain't telling me what you goddamn liking. I'm driving a bus. Either you get you on the bus or you take your ass off the bus. I'm not. What are we here? What are we talking about? See, the problem is men confidence is based upon what a woman is saying or how she feel about you. Bro, hell, that means she already knew you was weak in the first place. If she could use certain words or do certain things and make you all emotional and you acting all out of character and your confidence is shooken up, then you ain't really have real confidence or belief in yourself in the first place. It doesn't even matter. If you over here and goddamn it, no, I don't have 50 million, so I can't buy that. I can't buy a $15 million house. You feel me? No, I can't. But you're gonna feel comfortable when you come over here. When you at my crib, you're gonna feel nice and comfortable. And this is the type of time I'm on.
And to add to that, like, look, a lot of times, like, for example, you're dealing with these quote unquote baddies, right? And they'll deal with a dude and be like, oh, I ain't dealing with no dude unless he's spending this type of bag on me, taking me to Ruth Chris. And a lot of dudes, as soon as they hear that, they get uncomfortable, they get nervous, and they get scared. And there's a lot of dudes that'll look at her dead in her eye and be like, man, shut the fuck up. We going to McDonald's. And guess what? And you know what happens? The dude that look her dead in her eye and says, bitch, shut the fuck up, we going to McDonald's. That's the dude who's hitting the cheeks at the end of the night. It's not the dude who's all like, "Oh my God, she wants me to take her to Ruth Chris. I don't know. Maybe I should." No, just be who you are, and either she gonna accept it or reject it. That's how the game is.
What we are talking about, to be for specificity, again, we're talking about people being in a relationship where the woman feels she's dating down. All of this stuff y'all saying, I agree with you. It's off of the subject, though. We're talking about a woman who feels like she's dating down. And the question is, what type of women would feel that way? These men who get disrespected by their women feel that way. They exist in reality. Do I have that problem? Absolutely not. Do y'all have the problem? I don't think so. But they exist, and that was the parameters of the question.
That's because he feels like he's dating up.
Marcus,
that's the only reason she feel like she's dating down, because he feel like he dating up.
Marcus, I'm glad that you don't have that problem, right? But listen, the point of the matter, Marcus, what we trying to say is this. First of all, you're going to be challenged. There's real hard challenges and you got gentle challenges, right? Your woman is going to test you to see how far she can go. Now, it's all up to you how you handle the situation, right? So I think that's just natural. But when you're talking about dating down, a lot of times the reason why they feel that way because they are with men who really don't know their purpose in life. And she gonna always feel like she could get better. She gonna always feel like eventually when the relationship becomes jaded for her throughout time, if you with someone long enough, like I could go find somebody that got more money than him. There is a nigga out there that's better than you. Let's just make this perfectly clear here. There are men out there that make more money than you, that's flyer than you, that can do whatever. And regardless how rich you are, there's somebody is better. So they're going to always have that in their mind every now and again, become jaded. But when she's comfortable, when you bring security to her, right? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? And if she make more money than you, obviously you don't got to provide financially on that level, but you still got to be able to handle your part. Then it's a different dynamic. But if she feels as though that the disrespect is coming, it's because she's not feeling secure in other aspects in that relationship. It doesn't.
Well, I think based on the video that was presented in the stats that they said that 80% of women, that a vast majority of women feel that if they got 80% of everything, that they're settling, then I would be confident enough to say that 80% of women who are out here in relationships are settling. 80% of women out here in relationships are settling. And the reason why the vast majority of women are on dating apps or very single is that they can't get 100%.
All right, let me
Here's the
somebody out there that can give them 80.
Hold on, y'all, because I got to get Hank and Trev in there because they haven't had an opportunity to speak on it yet, and then we can circle it back around. Go ahead, Hank. Then we'll go to Trev.
Well, yeah, man. Look, I'm a dime plus 99. I don't give a damn what these women say. The good Lord didn't start making one pretty woman; they made many. So I'm gonna keep it moving. Matter of fact, I'm so sexy that a motherfucker. I'm gonna wish that they have to go to the mama's house. She gonna wish she was 20 years younger so she can get with me. Fuck this, man. You just gotta walk with a level of confidence.
That's all, Hank.
I mean, you can't walk around shucking and jiving with your head all down like you depressed all the goddamn time because you lost one. You move on to the next one. And if she's not in order, you keep it moving. Leave her F at a restaurant in a goddamn second. Man, that's some bullshit. Guys, y'all got to move like y'all own the joint. Walk in there like you own the building, own the business. Man, own the world. You understand what I'm saying? So no, never. I don't understand this, man. It's just defeated.
Give him more time. You got 2 more minutes, Hank. Go ahead. Keep going.
Goddamn, I mean, it is what it is. If that's how y'all want to move. That's how some dudes move. Hey, then let them suffer, man. Look, the simp's gonna always be there. Let them simps dudes be around. That we need simps. Simps is necessary. Hoes is necessary. Let them motherfuckers go on somewhere down the street, migrate together, and mount up, and let cats like me keep it moving.
Everyone's got their role to play.
Can I ask y'all a question? Which question are y'all answering? I'm trying to figure out where y'all got to this.
Because I
don't understand what question this was.
I went off for Lou's question.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Question. I didn't even talk about the topic.
I don't care. I never answered the question. I just commented on what
I didn't answer the question either.
Remember,
Luis over here derailing us and shit.
Oh my God. Are we talking? About something that exists or no?
But you're right, Mark, you're right, brother. You're right.
I like
to talk about the women who stay focused on this list. Yeah, man. Look, like Shan said, I agree with everything what Shan said, man. Look, that list be adjusted for the right man. That right man. She'll make it. Look, a man like me, she gonna make them adjustments. She's gonna make them adjust. Well, yeah, I ain't worried about everything on that list. You fit 10 out of the 300, and I won't with you because I bring something that she's never had before. You know what I'm saying? So now she's ready to keep. But like Shan said, will she still gonna stay with me if things go left? Is she still willing to put up with some of the things and expect some of the things on the list that I wouldn't give her? So,
all right, go ahead, Trev. Smooth.
All right, I'm going to try to tie it all together as much as I can here. So the main reason I feel like women behave like that and they have all this 80% and that's not enough is because they have an abundance mindset, right? And most men are the ones with the scarcity mindset. And us as men reinforce that on a regular basis, right? If you got a chick that's considered to be bad, how many times does she get approached a day? At least 20. That's just what it is. Women get approached all the time. So they're getting gassed up, like Shannon was talking about earlier. They have Waiting to Exhale movies. All of them, they up there sucking up to the women. This is what they're taught. Disney. This is just how women are made to feel their whole lives. Like they're all princesses, right? That's what they've been taught. And they feel like there's so many options because we approach them so much. Just imagine you as a dude, if you got approached 20 times a day, how much that would gas you up. You would be out here. You would just be doing whatever you want because you have so many options and everybody's trying to get at you. Think about what that would do to your ego. If you had women constantly trying to push up on you on a regular basis, that would make you feel incredible and you would not know how to behave. That's just what we would do. So until we start rewarding women who act better, we're not going to win. All we ever do is reward beautiful women day in and day out. That's all we do. If you're beautiful, that's what we do. Now, as far as what the question Lewis raised to, I wanted to jump in on that a little bit because he said, well, just from the reactions and everything, I think that it's more difficult than we're making it seem. And I understand that you should have some type of ego. You should have some type of confidence because, you know, I've been able to bag some joints that you be like, damn, how you do that? Right. And that's what we all are expected to do sometimes. But if it's that easy, I would love for someone to tell me who's dating a supermodel, who's dating a millionaire. If it's that easy, does anybody here have a millionaire? Does anybody here have a supermodel to say, hey, look, yeah, I'm doing it like that? It's that easy. Get your confidence. Tell these women what it is. If we have that, then we could talk like that. But if that's not what we get on a regular basis, then can we really say that? That's the problem I'm having with that. If we have that, if people are dating supermodels and millionaires, then you can go ahead and say, all right, yeah, it's like that. Get your confidence up. This is what you could get. But if we're not doing that, then what are we doing?
Good point, Trav.
20s I did, but I just kept cheating. That shit just was bad. Keep it a bean. I just couldn't stop.
Trav, to be honest, they're really not even. They actually, I think women in that level who in the limelight or make money in that level, they're actually more easier than a common girl. We make it out to be something. They are women, bro. They regular people. And it's much easier. But the only difference with them, it's a lot of baggage that comes with that. And what that is, they get busy. All right? They get busy. Even they on a whole nother, and that's why it's a small circle. Which you see a lot of dudes that's getting it, they be sharing the same girl. She with the, you know, like you be like, didn't I just seen you? She was just with him, and then now she with, bro. It's not even that hard. We make it hard, or we think because they got money, we say like, oh, like we think it's just like so far fetched. It's not that hard, bro. You just got to know where to be at. You just got to be in those spaces. The problem is a lot of guys just not in that space. But if you was in that space, you would see that when they lay their hair down, bro, it's just like man at the club, bro. It's easy. It ain't hard.
Now I think that, but we're talking about like long term, right? So, could you name anybody that's like a superstar that's really, really out here? That
Trav, you don't want them long term,
huh?
That's not what we talking about, man. Hey, Rashawn, man, stay on the questions, man. You done came in and answered the confidence question. Hey, that's why I'm trying to figure out what you was answering. He say, I think JR must have asked you specifically, hey, where your confidence level at? He was like, my nigga, I'm king. Oh.
Right.
I'm like, I thought we was talking about, okay. We talk about trying to have marriage and a gender war. You talking about some, I'm just trying to pump and dump.
I'll say this. After this next recession, you're going to be seeing a lot of dudes with different type of chicks, man. You know what I'm saying? Until they get their their situation leveled up.
On the good side or the bad side?
Can I ask Shannon a question? Shit, I don't mean, hey, shit, You don't need to go into depth into your business or whatever. But let me ask you a question. Do you prefer? What's your preference? Do you prefer? Because I'm sure that you dated women in those spaces as well, right? Do you prefer dating women in those spaces, or you just rather, or do you prefer dating just the common, just the regular women? And when I say regular women, I'm just talking about women that is not in those spaces. Which one do you prefer? From your experience.
Not in the space.
No, in the space. I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer drinking top shelf alcohol. I don't want Smirnoff. I want. So yeah, I date, but that is common to me. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. Remember, I'm a film producer and I'm a fashion designer. So that's common. What may be uncommon to many people in, I guess, middle America, to me out here in LA is common. You know, and we get freshmen every year.
Yeah.
You know, we get a fresh batch delivered every fucking summer.
year.
So
are we advocating for, again?
No,
he's answering the question.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just answering the question. I'm just
answering the question.
Yeah, my bad, Marcus. I just wanted to. So you became so, like, obviously you jaded in that space. So it's just like you just are willing to accept what comes in that space. Are you saying that?
It's not that I'm jaded. I just know I know how to navigate it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's no different than, you know, everything is perspective. There's some people who make $20,000 a year who are extremely happy. And then I know a millionaire right now who's on the brink of deleting himself. Like, right, you know, and he got money is not an issue, but he's just not happy. Women is not. So perspective is where it's at. Now, most people without money will say, man, all I need is that money. And then people with money say money don't buy everything. It just depends on where you're from. So when you say, well, you know, Shannon, why don't you date the common girl? That speaks to a lot of celebrities, because people always ask the question, why do celebrities keep passing around these same chicks? How come these celebrities are dating the same? You know, how come Kelsey went to what's her name? Taylor Swift. How come he didn't just meet just a common girl that went to UCLA, that is prettier than all of these chicks that he's ever dated, normal and regular? Because in his level, they're invisible to him. They're not there.
I can tell
you would think they're there to you, because you see them at Target, you see them at the gas station when you go pump, you know, $20 on pump 6. You see them but it's all perspective. So certain people only see certain people, and to them that's normal. Mm-hmm. So when you say, Chan, you know, who do you date? You date the supermodel? If I told you guys some of the people that you've seen on Real Housewives of whatever that I've been fucking with for years, you'd be like, wow. But they're everywhere out here. So every time I go to casting, their name shows up. You know, every time I go somewhere, they're there. So it just depends.
Shane, my perspective is based off of this, right? I played basketball for a nice amount of time. I was in LA. I played for the Lakers defensive team. I was out there with Lamar Odom. Like every other night, we at the club. I get that. I understand the whole new crop, all of those things, right? I'm number one team in the nation. I'm telling you, was there. And what I'm saying is, I still would rather go back and not deal with a girl that's within the industry and deal with a regular woman if I want a life and a wife and kids. If I just want to hit women every other night, then yeah, bottle service and rotate. But if what I am advocating for, what I'm trying to do is have a wife, a life, and kids, I'm not trying to pick shorty that just hopped out buddy car last week, in my car this week, and possibly be in my homie car the next week. We advocate for community.
Every other city we go.
Oh my God!
Every other
they the same. Look,
no matter where I go.
Basketball, and rap, basketball, music, and what's the other? And drug dealing, right? We all usually share the same women. It's the same women. Whatever state you go in, it's the same. Like, I could call my homie in Minnesota and I probably know the Eritrean joint he was messing with. Like, it's the same women in every state, right? But if you want a wife, you don't want to pick from that pool, bro. You just don't.
Not a wife. I think the biggest thing, Marcus, is the point I was trying to make is that what Ali was saying, it's about the spaces, it's about the access. And what Shan has is access, being a producer and whatnot, being in the fashion world. What I've been the luxury of having is had access because I'm a model and I'm on set with them. So we have access to get to them, and that's our norm. We're around that on a regular basis, and we see that on a regular basis. So it's almost like, why wouldn't you talk to this gorgeous person? You know, why wouldn't you give them some time and then get to know them individually and kind of see what they're on? If they're on some building type stuff, then you might have something there. But if they just, you know, they just here for a good time, like they are when they're younger, when they first get there, they're just trying to have fun, then boom, that's what it is. And you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, we got to transition, y'all, and we got to get some other folks in there. You guys just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Cassandra, member of 20 months, says, "Men, what matters the most to you in a relationship?" We'll answer that on the back end. So I'm gonna keep that started, and we'll answer it on the back end. Let's go ahead and move into our next topic. Hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Next topic is, they think that their looks, vagina, and personality is special to men, but that's not what really keeps them. Let me go ahead and play this clip.
It's called the unicorn delusion, and it's really good for women. And it actually says, it's from a man. He's the author. He says that women are delusional because they think that their looks, vagina, and personality is special to men, but that's really not what keeps you. That may attract you, but that's not what keeps you. And that is what shifted my dating as well, because I used to be one of those people like, oh, I'm so pretty, but like, so many other women are more beautiful than me. What is going to make me stand out to a guy? How I talk to him, communicate, how I make him feel, my character.
Let's go ahead and hop into it. Luis, I'm going to go to you first, bro. I know you've been patiently waiting. They think that their looks, vagina, and personality is special to men, but that's not really what keeps you. Go ahead.
No, she's right. You know, she's right. Like, you know, those are the things that will attract you. And sort of like what I've said before, it's like, you know, sexual attraction is not the same as relationship attraction. You know what I'm saying? I could find you attractive and all that, and I could want to smash, but there are other things behind that either I want you to stay or I want you to go. And I think for the longest time, I think what's been programmed and pushed to a lot of women is just that you just got to be pretty. Just put on makeup, you know, get your nails done, you know, just get dolled up, and that's it. And a man will see you, right? And that's just not the truth. You know, I think that's what sells, you know, to a lot of people, but that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? You got to have personality. You have to have character. You have to be, you know, soft. You have to have, you know, feminine traits and all those other things that want to keep a man. And then also, too, add value. You know what I'm saying? Add value. We talked about earlier about being a man being busy and being on his purpose and stuff like that. If you notice these things and he's actually heading into the right direction, yeah, ask him if he ate. You know, ask him if you could pick up something for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, men appreciate the small things that women do for them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be big gestures or big broad strokes. It's the little things. It's the attention to details, right? And sort of a woman that does that is a much more valuable commodity to a man like that. Like, you know, the looks and all that is great. We love that. But then once you add that extra factor to it, like, and when those men move around, they're like, yeah, like there's all these other women, but they don't show up the way that you do. They don't bring me the kind of peace that you do, right? And sort of those types of women get scooped up, and they get scooped up fast, right? Those are the ones that tend to kind of get locked down. The ones that just only are too self-absorbed into their own looks, they just keep bouncing around and riding the carousel for a while. So that's all I got.
All right. Go ahead, Trey.
Hey, JR.
What's up, sir?
JR, real quick. The question that you got scrolling at the bottom, these women, they think that their looks, vagina, and personality is special to men, and that's not really the case. And then what was that super chat that you just had up? that you said we're going to come back to later? Men, what matters most to you in a relationship? I think we're answering that super chat right now. I think, so to shout out to Cassandra B, but your question is tied into this topic right here. So Cassandra, I think we can knock out 2 birds in 1 stone. And since I'm talking, I might as well go ahead and throw it out there. They think their looks is another thing is what she said, maybe kind of, a lot of women think their looks is not what their looks actually is. I'll be hearing a lot of women talking about, me and my pretty friends. I'll be like, you're not pretty. Stop it. So a lot of women think that they pretty and they not. So let's just start there. But pussy is in fact a commodity. The only problem is pussy is a trading currency. It's not a store of value, ladies. So while the lady on the video is absolutely right to answer Cassandra's question and to tie in what the lady said on the video, what men want, instead of this pussy and looks and all this other kind of stuff that they think is going to keep a man, what men want, in my opinion, and this is what I believe men should look for, is, did your life, fellas, get easier as a result of her presence? Because pussy has come standard on every model, as we say, and that gets old after a while. The finest women you don't be wanting to fuck sometimes. You be like, God damn. But did your life get easier as a result of her? So while women think that the pussy is the thing that makes them stick, what will make me stick, and I think that men should look into a woman to make them stick, is because she's here in my life, my shit is easier than it is when she wasn't here. Now that's tough for a lot of guys, because when we all by ourselves and we don't got no woman, we tend to make money. Life goes real smooth when she ain't around. When women aren't around, they tend to complicate shit. They cost more. They take time and all this extra. It's a laborious task. But when you got a woman that, however you was rolling before you met her, you rolling even better. You fucking are you living better because of her presence. Your life is easier. Your bank account balance, the checking account balance in your Bank of America account, Chase, Wells Fargo, whoever you guys are checking with right now, the balance in there now is higher because she's here. That is the woman that we want, not that pussy, because we can get the pussy anywhere. But that's what I believe. Your life, fellas, not hers, not her kids. Did your life get easier with her? And that's my answer for Cassandra too.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of women have this overinflated sense of ego again. It's just what makes them feel like everything is good. But in reality, like Kitty's cool. Kitty's great. But the only thing better than Kitty is new Kitty, right? Once that thing gets your grip, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's only but so much moves you could really do, so much things you could really pull off before it's just like, all right, cool. And a lot of females be thinking they coming out here with that fire, and they'll talk that to you, like, go hype, think about to jump into something, and then you like, that was mid. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of females really think what they have is way better than what they have. And I don't even know how they come to these conclusions. Men need to stop gassing them up and tell them if it's mid, because that's the only point of reference they could really have for real, because they really think they got something. You don't even have anything to refer it to. You've never tried, Kitty. So how could you know if yours is any good compared to anybody else's? That's a problem to me. So it's our fault for not telling them their joke was mid or trash. I will tell you if it's mid or trash, and you need improvement. You need to work on that. Maybe you need to soak in some vinegar. Maybe you need to do something different because it's trash, it's slack, or whatever. Listen, we need to do that. And as far as looks concerned, come on. The way things are right now, the marvels of makeup right now, what you can do, anybody could be a dime right now. You see these creatures coming out on Instagram and TikTok putting on whatever, beating their face with, I don't know what it is. It looks like magic, but everybody looks pretty good right now, right? So we can't really get hyped over the way somebody look or the way their kitty is, because it's okay. But you get used to it after a while. You could get bored. You got to try all types of things that you never thought you'd be trying before to even keep interested sometimes. So that's not enough. What you really need to be worried about is, can this dude be around me? Does he like my company? Can I help him on his mission? Can I assist him? Right? Can I make him comfortable? Can I nurture this man? You know what I mean? Can I think for him sometimes and prepare some things that he needs ready for the next day? Can I make his life easier? That's what men value over time. We will absolutely be attracted to Kitty because that's just how we're biologically wired. But listen, obtaining and retaining men are two completely different things.
All right, shout out to Kitty. Go ahead, Hank, in the basement.
Man, shit, for me, man, she got what she got between her ears, man. Not just what's between her legs. That's gonna attract me. And what can she do in the goddamn kitchen? I'm a big Southern boy, so you heifers got to know how to cook in order to keep me. I mean, that's sexy to me. You know, your conversation piece. Can you make me laugh? You know what I'm saying? Can you just sit back and listen? You know, so if you just think your vagina, like my man Trev said, it's a standard model. Everybody, you know, it is what it is. Somebody said in the chat, y'all starting to sound like Heat. Well, come on over to the goddamn dark side. That's where I stay at. Y'all more than welcome. Open door policy here.
I like that. Mark, did you answer this question yet?
I'm trying to see if I'm gonna answer the question to just talk about some random shit I want to talk about. But do they think they looks, vagina, and personality is special to men? I think at this age, people do place a lot of high value on those tangibles that they feel they bring to the table, especially because music and OnlyFans and social media has conditioned the vast majority of society to feel like those things are what we value because that's what we're paying for, right? You incentivize what you prioritize, right? So we've incentivized them to lead with these things. So it's a fair assessment in their mind that it does those things. The problem is it's an overnight sex culture that's not resulting in families, right? And because we don't have families coming from this is not what keeps you. We clearly see that. We clearly see that having sex and putting people back in the dating pool is not beneficial to us as a society, especially us as a people. We should have been at 28% the last generation, but we 14, 13%. The numbers may vary, but we should be growing as a group of people. And we're unfortunately not creating family units or children within those family units to grow and be successful within this life. So I think that the thing that really keeps you, I think it's the it's not quite the personality, but the personality has a lot to do with it, right? So like all the brothers said before me in regards to the energy that she brings within a relationship, the spirituality that she brings within a relationship, the way she caters to you, the way she could cater to the family. Um, do you feel confident that when you ask her something or need something done that you can rely on this person? Is this person going to be the person you need them to be, and whatever that looks like for you? I think that matters more than anything, and that varies from person to person. What I need may not be what someone else needs, but for me specifically, the things I need, I really need those things, and when I get them, then I can move forward, and that's what I did with my life. I got them and moved forward.
All right, go ahead, Cloud Jones.
I would say that in today's times, it's absolutely true that women think that, you know, their personality, you know, their body, the vagina looks, all of that, they feel like that's the most important thing. I think that we put a lot of focus on two of the ways that men are attracted, but I think the third one is very overlooked. So we focus on what attracts a man's eyes, right? We focus on what attracts a man sexually, but I don't think we even, or women often even consider what attracts a man emotionally, right? Even in the Bible, when it talks about, you know, a man finding a wife or a woman, it says a specific scripture. It says that his heart doth rest, like reside in her, like essentially like emotionally he feels safe with her, right? Like he feels safe with her. Like his heart is attracted to her heart. They're connected by heart, like in the sense of like, how do you make me feel? Can I trust you? Are you that safe space? Like you listen to old music, for example, And if you listen to how men used to sing about women, and that'll tell you exactly how a man wants to feel about a woman. Like, dude said, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I mean, if you really look at how deep that is, I mean, that's what we want. We want you to be our sunshine on a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? We want you to fill our heart with joy. We want you to fill our heart with compassion. We want you to fill our heart with inspiration. And I think that a lot of time women seek the easiest way to inspire, which is like the physical, because a lot of them don't, at least in this generation, they don't have the depth to really get past the flesh and really seep into your heart and really, really get to the root of you and really touch you in a way that matters. Like a way that influences you emotionally in a way like, and I feel like men know when we feel that way, right? Like I feel like that moment when a woman does something for you or says something to you and you look at her and you looking at her and you're like, yo, I fuck with you. And it's different than you just liking her. You know what I'm saying? It's different than you just feeling her. It's like usually it's something she said or a gesture she showed that it just makes you feel that warmth in your heart and you're like, yo, I could let my guard down a little with this one. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be so stern and stoic. I could tell her the truth. I could tell her how I really feel because I can trust that. And I feel like a lot of women don't create that space for men to be able to do that. So
All right, go ahead, Ali.
Beautiful points, brothers. Obviously, yeah, they think that's going to keep us, but obviously that is not. We always say you don't want to get a man with your behind, you want to get him with your mind, right? So everything that the brothers is talking about, I'm hearing, to sum it up in words, is consolation, comfort, right? But overall peace. And as just to seal it, he broke down a good scripture in the Bible. I'm going to give you one from the Holy Quran. It says, and of his signs in this, that he created mates for you from yourselves, that you might find quiet of mind in them. So a man is looking for peace, a quiet of mind. And a lot of times you make a great point, Jones. Women are, because they being sought after of men who always thinking below the belt. They want to control or try to get a man on a physical level. So they not using their mental, so they don't know how to communicate really to the mind of a man. They only know how to communicate by having sex. And they thinking that sex and their looks is a way of trying to retain a man, and that's just not. You can probably have sex with him, so that's easy. But do you really know how to communicate with him? Do you really know how to move him? And when I say move him, I'm not talking about in a negative way, but in a way that make him want to take on a responsibility of you, right? Do you know how to make him be at peace, or are you creating a space? In other words, are you creating heaven at home, or are you creating a space where he got to sit in his car 30 to 40 minutes before he walk inside because he got to brace himself before, after having a long day at work, and then now he has to get in the right mindset just to deal with you? Or do you create that space at home in a quiet of mind or peace at home that he rushes to get back home? I'm going home, bro. When I see men sitting in the barbershop for 4 or 5 hours, dreading to go home, dreading to go home, that's the issue. But so, I agree with the brothers and what everybody's saying in that aspect. But ladies, get on with your mind and not your behind.
All right, go ahead, B Madden.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with what you were saying, Ali. I'm gonna say something that might not be very popular, but I think it needs to be said. I think a lot of women out here now are what the kids are calling now delulu. Delulu, they're delusional. You talk about, you know, woman's looks, you know, her sex game, personality, you know, is special to men. That's real cool. You know, it's cool. You know, that's how you get a man's attention. That's how you get his attention. You know, now I'm looking, I'm paying attention to you. You know, you got my attention now. So what else you got? You know, I believe a lot of attractive women in today's society are not equipped to be in long-term relationships and are not equipped to be married by these men. Period. I'm gonna say it again. The majority of the attractive women in today's society are not even equipped to be in long-term relationships or be married by these men today. Simply because the majority of these women don't even know what men like, what men want, what we desire, and what makes sense in our world outside of some good pussy and looking cute. Again, that gets you to the dinner. That gets you to the date. That gets you to the bedroom. What else you got? What else are you bringing into my life? Are you someone that I want to procreate with and have you help me raise my children? Do you have great morals and values? Are you somebody that is sweet and has a good heart and that's loving and caring? Do you make my world easier? Do you make my daily life easier? Do you care and pour into me as a man, as someone that you want providing for you and looking over you and protecting you and all those things? You know, how soft are you? How peaceful is my life with you now added to it? Or is it more chaotic? Is it harder now? You know, because when you're looking at it, you know, we're taking on a lot of that burden that comes with you, whether it's you and your debt or your student loans or your issues or your abandonment stuff, your bills, you know, the protection over you that means we should have some level of some level of authority to make sure that you're good and you're safe and all those things. What are we getting at the end of the day? If you can bring all those things, you know, if you're competent, if you're smart, intelligent, you know, we want to talk to somebody that's competent. We want to be in a relationship with somebody that I trust you with my house. I trust you with my kids. I trust you with raising them up to be upstanding members of society and for them to add on to our generation, add on to the next generation, add on to our legacy. You can't do that with a big booty and a smile, and that's it. You can't do it with just that. Now I'm not going to sit and pretend like those other attributes are invisible, because they're not. Again, it gets you to the game, but you're not going to win the game with that. That's where I'm landing.
Be mad.
Yeah.
It's something that you said, man. I don't necessarily agree, and this is an issue that I'm having with a lot of men.
Mm-hmm.
We keep saying men keep when you say they don't know. These women know. We're not telling these women something that they don't have. They're not dumb. They know what the fuck we're saying. They just don't give a fuck. Women do not care what men want. Like when it comes to like what you were saying, like, you know, a lot of these pretty women, they're not qualified for long-term relationships and not qualified for marriages because they just don't understand what men want. Stop right there is where I disagree. They know what men want. We've said it for 50 years. Ever since the invention of the magazine, we've said it in every GQ magazine that I ever in car and driver, Motor Trend, in every Sports Illustrated. We've explained and told these women slowly. We've written it. We put it in movies. We talk about it on podcasts. They know what we want. They just don't give a damn. And as long as men say things like, they just don't get it, we're giving them a scapegoat for when they fuck up. So then right now, what the biggest response is to women's bad decisions? I was young and dumb.
Always.
Women my age, late 40s, 50s. That's back when I was young and dumb. You know what? You was young, but you wasn't dumb. You knew. You just didn't give a shit. You was selfish. You only gave a fuck about you. You didn't care about nothing else. You didn't care about the children. You didn't care about you. You had kids because you was getting that welfare check. That was a hustle. You was having babies as a part of a side hustle. You knew what was necessary. You just didn't care. That young and dumb argument that we used to accept, we can't accept that no more, fellas. We got to say, no, you knew what the fuck you was doing. You just decided to do it because you thought your outcomes was going to be different, or you thought that you was going to be able to game the system. You thought that it was going to be different for you. No, you knew. So I just wanted to put that part back on you, man, when you said they don't really know. And they know, man.
Let me respond to that. Let me respond to that real quick. Let me throw another wrinkle in there. I'm going to throw another wrinkle in there, Shan. I believe that I agree with what you're saying to a degree. Now, the younger ones, the 20-somethings, I think they really don't get it and they don't know, because when we're talking, a lot of that goes through this ear and right out the other, simply because they're not worried about it right now. They are here to have fun and date around and dick hop and do all those things. That's fun. And that's
they
lit,
can't even name
and
countries.
that's on the scene. So yeah, but they don't care. No, I agree with Shan said to that. They don't care because that's not what they're on right now. That's not their program right now. Their program is to be on the scene, be in the littest places at the most private events, and to have as much fun with the most influential people. So they don't give a damn what we really want, because they're just there for the surface shit anyway. Because they're just there for the looks, for the pussy, for a little bit of bubbliness, and that's it. When it comes to your 30-somethings, when you start getting to your 30-somethings and your mid-30s, now they're like, what is it that men really want? What is it? Because they asses weren't listening in their 20s. They weren't paying attention because it didn't matter to them back then. But now they're like, I'm ready to settle down. I done already done all the things I wanted to do. I done had all the fun. So, Shan, what was that you were saying before? What men want? What do they care about again? And they got their notepad out and they got their pen out and they're really taking notes and writing it down, because before they didn't give a damn, but now they care. But now they're being choosy with the level of femininity they want to give you based on how they value you. If you're that guy, then they're going to come with that level of energy. If you're not that guy yet and they haven't ran into you yet or feel like you're the one for them, they're still not going to give you that energy.
So I got to disagree with Shan because...
Hold on 1 second. Let me get Luis in, as I know he's kind of sick.
Yeah, there lies the issue, because this is the problem that I also see, to kind of piggyback on you and Shan. A lot of women today are practicing non-monogamous relationship for like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 years. You know what I'm saying? Longest relationship is probably 1.5 years. And that was probably with some talking stage in between, 3 other people. And they count that as 1.5 years. Let's be very clear. These women are not in steady, long-term monogamous relationships for long periods of time to fully understand what men want, how they move, how they show up in their relationship, for them to pick up cues. Because when you're hearing it from a bunch of different men, it's one thing. But when you're hearing it from your man, the man who's taking care of you, taking you out, giving you attention, you know what I'm saying, and showing up in a particular type of way, you are paying attention. But unfortunately, those women are not in relationships long enough to pick up on any of those cues, let alone any of the stuff that all other men are trying to guide them through. So they practice this non-monogamous bullshit for the longest time, and then get to a certain point where they're like, oh, I want a relationship. I want to settle down and stuff like that. You don't even know how to be in a monogamous relationship with someone for at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying? You have never been practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, and Luis, they don't even want a real ass relationship either. They want an Instagram ass relationship.
Well,
they want to, we're taking trips. Oh, we're doing, date night, or we're over here, we're doing date night, or we're over here cuddled up, and it's wintertime and it's cold, and we do little cute shit like we do wine and paint nights and shit like that. It's the Instagrammable. Oh, look at us! Look at what we're doing now! Look at what we're doing now! It's cute to have a boo at a certain age and a certain time frame. They're like, I want to do something different instead of getting passed around all the time. I want to sit up here and just fuck one dude for a while and see what that's like. But even then, that's like 6 months, maybe a year. It still ain't that long.
Could it be something different though? Because you know how we are with females, right? You can't listen to what a female says she wants, because we know, what they respond to is usually something that's completely different. Is it possible that because of the way we behave, that women feel like we only respond to sex, right? Because in our pursuit, that's our main agenda, is sex, right? And that's our primary focus when we look at them, when we talk to them. It's all about sex. So could it be possible that these women are trained by us, and maybe they think, to an extent, that we are way more interested in sex than anything else, right? Like that's our primary focus a lot of times. So I think it would be difficult, especially for women today who have not seen the example, have been raised in a single parent household, who don't have anything to go off of but what we show them, because they haven't had that family dynamic to even bring from. Do you think that they could be thinking like us and say they don't really know what they want? I know what he want. Like we just asked a question a couple of weeks ago to say, all right, well, you know what? Should she apologize? Nope. I'll go ahead and take the BJ. She don't even have to apologize. So when we respond like that and we letting that slide as men, aren't we making it what it is? Aren't we perpetuating the issue by just responding the way we do to sex? Right? What if we made that like the minority instead of the majority, and we just said, nah, you know what? Just really laid off of that, which is extremely difficult to do, right? Because we're going against biology. But if we wanted a different outcome, is that something we should do?
No.
So is it basically accountability out the window is what you're saying? Just
not throwing accountability out the window.
Accountability on her, because it's like, oh, she don't give me sex. I don't need her to apologize. I don't need her to say she saw. So accountability is out the window as long as she's
look. It's incumbent on her.
Is that what I'm hearing?
It's incumbent on her to leverage sex for her to give the opportunity to allow him to get to know her. Once you give it up, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how that man moves or who you're dealing with, you might lose interest right there. Some do, some don't. But you have to leverage that situation to put yourself in the light to allow this person to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like this is who I am. This is what I value, and this is how I will value you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the sex is what you want, but I'm a total package. I come with all these other things, right? And sort of we can't speak both sides of our mouth, because just before this we were talking about, you know what I'm saying, the scenario that Shan had brought up, right? And we gotta be a little bit honest.
That's 100% where I was trying to go with this, because I'm like, all right, if we supposed to be the leaders, and we are training people in the way in which they should follow us, and we telling them exactly what we want, and then we incentivize them when they turn 18 and get them $2 million to do an OnlyFans, but we don't got nobody waiting to marry them when they turn 18. We have just incentivized the behavior we want.
hold on, guys. I feel like we being a little ridiculous by trying to make it seem as like we incentivizing women to do anything. Like
We not?
young women don't even pay attention to men at all. They're learning everything that they're learning from other women. It has nothing to do with men. They're learning how to dress from other women. They're learning their sexual tactics from other women. They're learning all that from women. It's not men telling them to go out there and dress and that they need to wear G-string underwear with their dress so that they butt you. We're not teaching them that. This is not even stuff that we talk about. They're not learning it from us. What it is that what women have learned from other women is that the women who tend to use their sexuality tend to have higher status amongst women. And so they want that status amongst women. And so they want to be the badder bitch than the other bitch, not for us, but to have a higher status amongst women. It has nothing to do with us. Women have to hold each other accountable for that. You've never seen, hold on, when these 13, 14-year-old girls is going to buy these sexy little outfits and dresses in these stores, it ain't no pictures of men in those stores. It ain't no men telling them they like seeing them in it. Matter of fact, half of the men they probably talk to probably tell them they don't want to see them in that, and that makes them want to wear it more. Their dad is probably telling them, I don't want to see you in that, and they want to wear it more. Why? Because who they want to be like is whoever the girl that gets the most attention is, and not just the attention from men. Whoever the girl that gets the attention, period. And if you look at a lot of these butt naked chicks on Instagram, we love to say that it's men giving them all the attention. But in reality, if you were to ever click those likes and scroll through who's really liking all them OnlyFans models pics, it's other women. It's all other women. Matter of fact, 90% of the time when I see something inappropriate in the comments or inappropriate picture with a girl almost with like some see-through shit on Instagram and I go through the comments, it's usually the niggas on there like, yo, this is crazy that this is allowed on Instagram. And it'd be the women that are like, yes, girl, oh my God, I wish my boobs looked like that. It's not us. Y'all gotta stop saying this. They don't even realize that we exist. Like until they start becoming like in their 20s and 30s, like what B Madden said, kind of like in the 20s and 30s, they start getting older. Then they start thinking about men and be like, oh wait, men exist. All my 20s, I wasn't even thinking about them. Now they exist, and I don't got one, and I'm trying to figure it out. That's when they actually give a damn. But before that, it don't got nothing to do with it. They're in a female echo chamber, and they're just listening to whatever the rest of the bitches tell them, and that's all it is.
Yeah, but Cloud, those women are following, copying women that don't have results. And when I talk about results, I'm talking about actually a man of value who actually gives a fuck and has a damn, who's worth his soul, right? And then on
Because
top
they don't
of
think that's what a result is. They think the result is I got a Birkin bag. They think the result is I got a fat ass. The result is I got my titties done. The result is I just got a new tattoo on my stomach. That's what's important to them. I just got some new waist beads. Like that's what's important to them.
Yeah, and I agree. And those same women watch that woman's, life arc of when she turned 18, 21, 25, 30, and went through this entire emotional roller coaster till she crashed and burned and saw how she ended up. And they still will sign up and subscribe to that same bullshit, understanding that the end result is a dead end. They understand what the end of the movie looks like.
Exactly.
But
check this out. I ain't never heard one guy. I never heard one man once say he like a bitch with red hair.
Are women. The majority of people paying for OnlyFans subscriptions are women.
No. I'm not saying the ones paying for the subscriptions are women. I'm talking about
you stopped me to cut me off and say that was wrong when I was specifically saying that we have incentivized what's occurring right now. So unless you're making the assumption that the majority of women are paying for OnlyFans, then my point still stands. We incentivize that. And just 35, 40 minutes ago, we literally just was on a tirade, which why I couldn't understand where we was going with this. And we was talking about
90% of the women on OnlyFans don't even make money. So it's not the money that's incentivizing them.
Let me finish.
Most of them don't make money.
Let me finish. We literally was on a tirade about how that we prefer these, like Shannon and Rashad was talking about these upper echelon women, and then we'll tell them in the same tone, we don't care about your career, your profession, or how much you make, or what your status is in life. If I was these women, I would be thoroughly confused because the men that I want are saying this, right? We want you to be XYZ. And then I go to another group of men and they saying the complete opposite. And then if I try one and don't get a man and try the other and don't get a man, and now I'm just putting my hands in there like, what can I do now? Because I tried both methods and neither one worked.
But Marcus, how many of these women are actually going to men and asking them? That's not where they're getting these ideas from about how to deal with men. They're not going to men and sitting down with men and having conversations with us about what we want. They're talking to their girlfriends about what men want. And their girlfriends are telling them what men want, and they're believing their girlfriends. That has nothing to do with us. I do agree with you on the fact of, okay, men are financing OnlyFans. Absolutely. But the reason why I disagree that the money that's being paid on OnlyFans is the incentive is because most of the girls on OnlyFans are not making money. You gotta have a successful OnlyFans first to start making money. But there's something else in your mind that incentivizes you one day to say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some pictures of my pussy for a living. There's something else that happened throughout your youth. There's a whole nother conditioning that happened that made you feel like, yo, this is a good idea. And a lot of that is happening in the female world. Other females are saying, yeah, girl, you're a bad bitch because you have a OnlyFans. I want to be like you. I should start one too. The girls are supporting each other and having OnlyFans. So all of them feel like it's the wave. Meanwhile, if you are to actually ask the guys what they think, most guys don't support women having OnlyFans. Are they yielding to what we think, or are they yielding to what other women think? Clearly, it's not what we think because new OnlyFans accounts are being made every day.
But Jones,
the question said earlier was, do men what was it? Do your actions line up with your behavior or something to that extent? If we saying out our mouth we don't want you to get an OnlyFans account, and then women are still making money. I mean, they might not. I agree with you. The majority of them are not getting wealthy on OnlyFans. That number is small, right? Or not as large as it appears. However, it's like drugs. Most people don't get rich hustling, but everybody thought they were going to get rich hustling because that's what the market appeared to be dictating that it wanted. So
that's what. But hold on, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not the market that people don't sell drugs because of the market. Nobody says I'm gonna sell crack because if you, let's be real, right? The average person doesn't just see fiends everywhere. That's not what makes you sell drugs. What makes you sell drugs is the lifestyle that was sold to you by some rapper, some artist, or somebody you saw in the hood. You saw that dude living that lifestyle. You saw him pull up in that cherry red Benz from selling them pies, and you said, "I want to be like that dude." It has nothing to do with the customers. You're not like, "Oh, it seems like a glamorous business to sell crack." That's not how it works. So
that lifestyle is funded by the customers, though, right?
So it's about the status that the lifestyle provides, not the customers.
They seeing the end result of an Instagram lifestyle that's funded by the customers on OnlyFans, which is us. I don't think like
Marcus Jones, can we bridge this gap? Because I think that if we bridge this gap, y'all both is right. And so at the end of the day, I think in the end, yes, women are helping or they competing with each other, but they competing for the dollar or the attention of men in the end. That's what's really, Fab said it best. He said, money ain't the root of all evil no more, attention is. And which is why you see a whole bunch of people, everything they doing is about attention. But these young girls, Jones, you made a good point. A lot of things that's happening when you see as an adult, normally when we see the way how people act as an adult, we could always go back to their childhood, which is why they say 1 out of every 8 women that you see normally has been molested or been sexually abused before the age of 14 years old. So then now, so that means, and a lot of that, if they tell you their stories, then you start seeing the way how they acting as an adult is based upon something that happened to them when they was a young girl, rather it was a woman who sexually abused them or another man that sexually abused them. But at the end of the day, everything that they doing, rather it's a OnlyFans, rather they out there, because some of them don't have OnlyFans, some of them just outright selling box. You see them. You can't take me out on a date unless you pay for X, Y, and Z. You got to pay for my time. You got to do X, Y, and Z. And there is dudes, as what going to bridge the gap what Mark is saying, we saying one thing, but our actions is showing something different, because you have dudes, you have dudes that's willing, we know they willing to pay. These dudes is women who go out on dates, not even women go out on the dates with no money, but they only going out on the dates for food. They going out on the dates to get certain things, or they laying down having sex with men just to get a few dollars. This is happening every single day. So you can't say that men aren't a part of the equation to the problem. You can't say that it's
Look,
not.
look, look, hold on.
And then we the
I'm not
leaders.
saying men are not a part of the
Yeah, we gotta
equation.
transition to the
But
main
what
topic.
I'm saying is these character traits in these women are developed at a young age. Like what I'm saying is all these things that these girls are doing, they learning it from their mama. It's their mama that told them, if you don't do this, he's not gonna do this. Oh, he better be giving you something in exchange. It's not us telling them that. Now, obviously, if a woman decides she gonna sell some coochie, right? And somebody buys it, obviously it's gonna make her reality real, like right. So if I say all women are hoes, and I go out looking just to smash, and all the women I meet let me smash, it's gonna corroborate in my mind that all women are hoes, right? That makes sense. But I can't say that the women being hoes is the incentive. No, something happened to me that incentivized me to go after women in that way. And it's the same thing with these women. Like we're not raising these girls. These girls are being raised in networks of women.
So who's
Most girls, I'm just saying most girls in America,
so
the
goes
majority of people that they have contact with is other women, not men.
so
So
you
we're not raising them.
Marcus' point. You making Marcus' point. If you're saying that it's not we being heavily involved, right? Rather if it's our daughters, our nieces, or whatever in their lives. If you're saying that it's other women, that means we are you're allowing it. That means
Brother, we're not. It's not about allowing it, brother. You gotta look at it like this. What do they say when men? You've heard this before. Not men and women's business, right? We live in a world. We live in a world where women have a separate world that they live in that has different rules and it functions a certain way, and we're not a part of that world. And what goes on in that world, we can't take accountability for what's going on in that world. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I got you, Jones. But you realize that's gaslighting that they use for men when they don't have an argument with. But at the end of the day, there's always men. There's men around, or there's a men when you acting in your nature that women will listen to. And if you're not leading or have women who's willing to listen, sometimes a lot of dudes don't even be giving real they mouth say something different than what their actions are. So you'll see a lot of dudes saying, I want this, I want that, the whole 9 yards. But there's a lot of men running out here with no discipline. So it looks different than what's going on. So I'm not saying
Well,
Jones,
I'm just saying before the discipline though.
I'm not saying that
I guess to the main topic.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, JR.
Yeah, just tuning in. Welcome to King Talk. That like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get to this main topic, which is the missing context from the gender war conversation in the Black community.
As Black people have to genuinely start questioning where our ideas come from. But even the tradition that we quote unquote stand on, that's not ours either. That if you are a descendant of slaves, your moral fabric was forced upon you. What you measure men and women by was forced on you. The notion that you had of village, of being communal, of collectively raising the kids in your village, of there being no separation of powers between men and women, but instead a recognition of a difference in power, that's tradition that you had. This notion that a man is above and superior, this notion that a woman is supposed to be docile and meek and only make a home, bro, that don't belong to you. That man, woman, a gender non-conforming, I don't care who subscribed to it, and I'm not telling you you can't. But if we're ever going to move past what it's doing to us, then you got to be honest about where you got it.
All right, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and go to Trey Smooth first. What are your thoughts about it, sir?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit wrong about that because just when you look at nature, right? When you look at nature, men are stronger physically. Like we out here, man. Like when we're left to our own devices, right? Let's just say that we started over, right? Just like a whole new village, or a country, whatever you want to call it, just somewhere different. And the men were men, right? The women were women. What roles do you think that we would naturally take on? Do you think that women would actually rule? And it's not like it just happened in one place. There is no matriarchy anywhere. It doesn't happen. So that's not something that we just took on that was forced upon us. That's just biology, unfortunately, right? That's just what it is. That's what we're designed to do. We didn't get that from anyone, right? And as far as there being a gender war, there's always going to be a constant battle because women are not feeling what they are getting is enough, and men the same. So I don't know where we're going to meet. The war is going to keep going. Eventually, there's a peace treaty, right? I guess it's going to have to be a lot of damage done first. People are going to have to be alone. A lot of people are going to have to die alone. And at some point, people will come to their senses and be like, damn, hopefully women start to realize before they're 40 that, hey, I need a man in my life, right? And if men want to have children, your absolute best option is to be partnered with a woman. Now, just because we might be superior physically and whatever else, it doesn't mean that we view the women as docile. That's different. We just understand that women are feminine and men are masculine. It doesn't mean that I rule you. It doesn't mean that you're not with me in this, right? Because when men don't real masculine men don't rule like that, right? So in your household, if you're truly masculine, then you're going to be more of a protector of your household. That's what you want to do. You want to protect your woman, protect your children. So it's not to tell a woman, hey, you need to do this. Shut up and sit down. That's not what it is. That's not what it's about. It's just about, okay, I'm the one who has to be the protector in a situation. You should be happy that you have someone that is stronger than you, that's going to take the brunt of what the world has to throw at you. I'll leave it there.
All right, go ahead, Luis.
I caught a little bit of tail end of that video. So I'm just playing a little bit of catch up right now. Skip me for right now.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you. Go ahead, be mad.
I would say I have to agree with the video in the sense of our history, where we come from, the information that was passed down to us from, different colonizers or oppressors. I agree with that 100%. Like, that is not how, our history is supposed to be. That's not part of our spirituality. That's not part of how we were supposed to be, period. That's something that was forced upon us. That's a history and maybe religious beliefs that we didn't know any better because some of our ancestors that were enslaved couldn't read or write no damn way, so we didn't know. But when you talk about people who were indigenous to this land, that had their villages, that had their communities, or people that did come from some of us that did come from Africa, that had their villages and whatnot, had more of a village mindset on how they did things and how they operated their households. It is different. It is different. And I'm not about the whole, I own you because I'm a man and I'm over you and you're going to listen to everything that I say and do like it's like you're a child. I'm not for that at all. I'm for we're both in this together. But we have to understand our roles, and we have to understand that my masculine powers are different from your feminine powers, and they should work in tandem together, like yin and yang, like light and dark. And they should work together when it comes to raising the kids. We should work in concert together when it comes to solving our issues or problems or whatever things that we need to do as a unit. So I agree with what he was saying on that. And we do have to be mindful of where our ideas come from. Are our ideas really our own, or are they being broadcast to us? Are they being sent to us via Instagram? Is it sent to us via a TV show or movies or popular culture, or by the news, or by, whoever runs the world, whoever agenda that they're trying to push? You know, I feel like I know that that is the case, and a lot of our young people fall subject to that based off what's going on in the music, what's going on TV, what's going on the internet. We fall subject to it as a people because a lot of times we are the aim. We are who they're trying to broadcast to, who they're trying to shake up and change our household and how we do things so that, you know, we don't reproduce and we don't have a thriving community and pass down generational wealth. So.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
The missing context from the gender war conversation in the Black community. I think what he said initially was right. I mean, it's a historical fact that certain liberties, ways of life, ways of knowing, ways of thinking were stripped from us. I think the most important part moving forward is how do we repair what's broken within us and what system actually works for us. And I think it's we're using a historical context that we have privy to that we can verify at least existed at one point in time when we had families that were intact as what that metric looks like. It's a young woman that's preaching a specific type of society that all women get together and they just group up and then they exclude men, right? And they're if it works for them, then it works for them. But in my personal opinion, the nuclear family unit that may not have been what we traditionally ascribed to prior to the horrific acts of the past seems to be something that we could build upon at this point. And I 100% agree that we do need to take a look at where we get our ideas from and make sure that they're actually ideas and that they're for the betterment of us and not just us going along to get along. But we really not in a position in this day and age to completely remove all of the whatever culture that has been imparted in us in mass, fix it and put it back to whatever. Like I've advocated for polygamy before, so I have different views too, right? So, but I don't think that the mass would be able to do that. I don't like. So the context of that question is within what's going on within the gender war. I think this whole gender war thing is dumb, honestly. I think we need to figure out how to get past whatever issues we got going on, learn to work together. And it may be people that are too hurt that them being in a dating pool is bleeding over everybody. And those people rightfully should remove themselves and then go heal from whatever's affecting them so they can come back a whole person. Ultimately, all this stuff boils down to what's going on with you, because hurt people and heal people help people, you know? So the missing context from it is I don't think that this is all our idea. I think we feed into propaganda and we need to be smarter than that and learn how to work together moving forward.
Marcus, real quick, when you said that you advocate for
I just said advocate.
What exactly?
Well, I apologize if I said advocate. I was saying I believe that would be a solution, one of many possible solutions, but I believe that could be a solution.
As in both ways or
no
like
no,
unilaterally?
One specific way. Yeah. One specific way. Yeah.
Oh, you believe
polygyny. Yeah, I apologize.
Don't do them like that, Trev. Don't do them like that, Trev.
No, I was just asking, man.
We know what he meant. We know what I know. I know what Marcus is
Yeah,
trying to find solutions. He's trying to find solutions, and that is a viable solution for some folks.
Because if we in a situation where the majority of us kind of are practicing it without practicing it, you got 3-4 kids by this woman, that woman, and the third. What ultimately ends up suffering is the kids, right? So one, you if you got 24 hours in a day and two people technically in what would be a traditional relationship, y'all got 12 hours apiece to kind of split and divide and do things so y'all can conquer things together. If you got 3-4, that number goes down, so you can theoretically accomplish more, do more, and have a better intact family that can pinch it and be in the gap for each other. As it stands currently, we got 24 hours in a day, and you need 58. Because you got to be at this house, that house, trying to run back and forth in this state, that state. Our families all over the place. It's not working, and we need a solution. I don't have the data to support what it would look like, because it has not been put into practice fully. But we do need some form of a solution because this is ridiculous and it's completely out of hand and it's getting worse.
So to be clear, you don't feel like this would work at all with multiple men, only multiple women, right?
Yeah, to be clear. To be very clear,
Gotcha.
yeah. We
Gotcha.
don't have
Okay, cool.
epidemic.
All right, you
women.
almost lost me there. I was just I got you.
Yeah.
Thanks for cleaning that up, Marcus.
Yeah, the one letter, right? Polygamy, one letter is all.
So,
I'm do one word.
You know, Trip is my guy. I really like Trip. Right? He normally, on a normal basis, he normally be on point. I think that he started off with a great valid point because of slavery, we had the slave master has robbed us from our moral ways, our folk ways, our God, our religion, and he taught, and we picked up our slave master's lifestyle, really in reality. And when I say lifestyle, his injustice way of doing things. And because the slave master was what is, he don't even have it in him to be just. So it, and us being slaves, that is injustice at the root of it. And the very fabric over here, what they set up is injustice. And then if he robbed you from everything, the only thing, and he replaced it with something, he will only replace it with injustice. He can only teach you what he has been, what his actions is. So we took on learned behavior and things that he has given us. So I think that now we can grow up and understand that why we can practice injustice in our own very household, right? Because it was divide and conquer. You lighter, so you better, or you darker, you get back over there. If you lighter, you could be in a slave master house. You get wear different types of clothes. Division, you taller, you shorter, you bigger, you skinnier. He did everything to divide us, and with that injustice or with that division, you know, we had this complex, right? Dr. DeGray termed the coin PTSD, post trauma slavery disorder. I'm sorry, right?
Post-traumatic slavery disorder.
Post-traumatic slavery disorder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you see everything going on today. So I think he missed the mark, though. You saying gender? I don't think that gender. There's nothing wrong with gender roles. I just think that everybody, it's the laziness between our people, the lack of trust within our people because of self-hatred that was in part of us. You know, we worrying about the other person's duty and not even performing our duty at the best of ability, right? So we always pointing the finger because of the lack of trust and self-hatred that we have amongst each other. So we can't, and the lack of love. And with that lack of love for ourselves, you surely, if you're not loving yourself properly, surely you're not going to love your spouse properly, right? That's why, because you're doing injustice with yourself. So you're going to be unjust to her and she will be unjust to you. So it's a lot that go into that. I would love to go in on a obviously, I just want to keep just that little bit just to answer that question. But maybe JR, you can really probably listen back to this formally, and then we can really get into the depths of it, because it's a lot that go into that. And everyone knows this type of topics like this is what I really love, me being in the Nation of Islam underneath the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We teach the root of the problem of us and give, not just telling you about the problem, but giving the right solutions to the problem. But I forego the rest of that. Jones, I know you want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Jones.
Yeah, man. Respectfully, man, I feel like everything dude said was a load of bullshit. It was a cop out, and this is why. This is why I'm gonna say it was a load of bullshit and a cop out. We love to make an appeal to history whenever we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, right? We love to make an appeal to history, like an example of like he's trying to say somehow like the reason why we have the type of relationship formats we have today is from slavery and all of that foolishness. Like, yo, bro, people will go through 2 or 3 different religions just in their one lifetime. Like literally, I got friends that were born Christians that became Muslims later in their life. I got friends that were born Christians that went through Buddhism, were became atheists for a little while. They was agnostic for a while, then they become Muslim or whatever the case is. So you somehow trying to convince me that their patterns and religious behaviors and how they're setting their structure up their family is based off of something that happened multiple generations ago when people actively changed their religious beliefs in the generation they live in. It's a load of garbage. Whenever we love to do stuff like this, right? We like to say, oh, this isn't our stuff. This is the European stuff, right? Oh, like let's say we talk about Christianity or religion. Oh, that's not our stuff. That's the European stuff, right? But then the moment the Europeans take credit for it, what do we say? Oh, but they stole that from Africa. The original Madonna was in Africa. Those are all stories that they copied from other religions. So which one is it? Is it that we got our stuff from the Europeans who conquered us and changed our ways, or did they steal all our shit from us? Which one is it? Was this our system or was it their system? I feel like we don't know, and so we love to use this history word salad to say, "Oh, nah, that's not who we really are. That's what the Europeans taught us." But I thought the Europeans had no culture and they stole all that shit from us. So if they stole all that shit from us, then that is who we really were, right? And you see how the logic goes circular and it's endless. It's completely ridiculous. Like slavery has nothing to do with why people are in the relationship patterns they're in now. People are in the relationship patterns they're in now because of the economics and because of the society that we live in today. Period. That's it. It's because of right now. It has nothing to do with yesterday. You don't if you're a Muslim today and your mom was a Christian, what is that? That should show to you that all of that is a load of fucking bullshit. No one's keeping the same traditions from slavery. Half of y'all don't even got the same religion your parents got, and half of them don't got the same religion as their grandparents. So it's like people grow, we change, society changes, histories get information from each other, and they exchange and back and forth. And we got to stop this trying to pinpoint garbage and say, oh, the Europeans robbed us of this. All people exchange culture. There have been wars between white people and white people, black people and black people and Latin people and Asian people, and cultures have been exchanged nonstop. As black people, we literally just gotta I get so irritated with like everything where we don't know it. We go back to slavery as if slavery is the beginning of history. There was how come I don't ever hear no Asian people complaining about Genghis Khan and saying, oh well, the reason why we do what we do today is because Genghis Khan conquered all of Asia and Europe a thousand years ago. You know why? Because it's stupid and it's irrelevant. But for whatever reason, we love to bring 400, 200, whatever years of history a long time ago and try to make it like somehow it has an actual impact on today. And it doesn't. It just doesn't. None of us are slaves. The majority of us were never slaves. The majority of us, none of us even know personally a family member that ever was a slave. None of y'all don't know nothing about what slavery was like and the impact it had on black people as a community or anything. So let's just leave that shit in the past. Like I hate this pseudo intellectual garbage. Like people who actually study history and have a real understanding of actual black history understand that all cultures have constantly been exchanging ideas back and forth since the beginning of time. Nobody originated shit, and it's not going to end with anybody. So let's just stop doing that and let's just talk about what's real. Right now, the reason why there's a gender war right now in our current society is simply because America had something called the feminist movement that was designed to empower women and undermine masculinity. And that's all it is. The gender war, quote unquote, is just men trying to get back into their position and women trying to figure out their position. That's all it is. Everybody's just confused. There's no actual war going on, and it has nothing to do with slavery.
All right, so let me just real quick. I just got two. I'll let you cook. I just wanted to say two things. One, I think when people say that, they're saying both. They're saying that it was stolen, we were taken, then it was remixed and then put back in us with the version that was warranted from them. That's the statement they making, which both things are true.
I understand what you're saying, my brother, but I'm gonna give you another example.
And the second thing in regards to slavery, I got my whole family lineage right here, right? I see in this book right here, I can see my cousin, all the greats that was sold and the prices that they were sold for. My great grandfather was used to breed slaves, right? They would put him in a house and then breed. They would bring women to him and then they would just breed kids. He had over I think it was 110 kids. and he only was able to keep 7 on the plantation. You don't think that the past matters when it does? Your past informs your future in a way where if you were like we see it with the girls who are on the pole a lot of times, if there was some sexual misconduct in their past, there's a good chance that will lead to things that occur in their future, right? And if you just keep tracing back, there is a root cause to all of this.
Yeah,
and I'm not
in
saying
their
that,
living
that we don't
generation.
that root cause is the reason why we should just give up and throw our hands in the air. Yes, we need to move forward and do things in a positive way. But I believe it's disingenuous to pretend like the past does not inform the future.
It does. No.
hold on.
Hold on. Let me just respond to him real quick. The past absolutely does inform the future, but what I'm saying is we like to choose what version of the past informs the future. And I'm gonna give you an example. I just watched the movie this weekend, Killers of the Flower Moon, right? And it's talking about Native Americans and their history with white people, right? And we love to talk about all the occurrences of white people going in and taking their shit and killing them all. We know about that. But what we don't want to acknowledge is how many of these Native American women willingly married white men and took on their culture willingly. So we always want to say, oh yeah, they took our culture and they forced it on us. Okay, that's true. But we also don't want to admit that generations of people willingly took on other cultures, because that's the thing to do. People always take on the popular culture at the time. It happens now. If right, for example, you know how many people hated marijuana just 10 years ago? Disgusted by the idea of marijuana. Marijuana is legal now, and everybody likes weed. Culture changes sometimes in your generation. So culture can change within your generation. Why are we so hung up on the culture changes that have happened in generations, 3-4 generations behind? Those generations are not having as much of an impact on us as 10 years ago. So let's focus on the more recent history instead of focusing on that long distant history that's not really impacting us right now. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, it's a saying. A man that don't study their history is doomed to repeat it. That's first of all. Second of all, you made some points that I had to strongly disagree with you, and I'm going to go into prove them. You mentioned about the feminist movement today is the reason, which is one of the main reasons of our problems. The feminist movement was designed during slavery. At first, the owner, which shows you that yes, slavery still does we are affected by it, because what happened was when the feminist movement first started, the women's suffrage movement, the late, I think her name is Sonja B. Anderson, she said that the reason why she was mad is because black men, right, when they was quote unquote freeing the slaves, but there was still illegal slavery going on, because which is why we got that Juneteenth thing, right? Because people still was staying on the plantation. But the Sonja B. Anderson said, how do you let niggas vote over us? Because women couldn't vote at that time. So they literally went to Congress and started arguing with their own husbands. So then what they did was they monopolized, they took some of our women and started making their battles that they was having with their own. And then they start, and the white man was using their women to reprogram our women and to make our women to start having arguments in our own household. So you see these white women going out publicly saying things, but they go right back home to their husbands while the black woman is in disagreement with her own husband in their own household. This started in slavery. Listen, this started in slavery though, and it's still going on in 2023. So to say that slavery what's going on back then, and you made it seem like it's so long ago. The last illegal plantation was in 1955, and any one of our parents that was born before the in the 60s, you was born a slave according to the Constitution in the 60s. So let's not play games and act like it's just so long ago. Now look, this book by Harriet Washington, The Medical Apartheid, she's talking about how what they was doing to us in slavery when you came over on the boat and you had to go see a doctor, and then they mutilated you and they tried to stick you with different shots, and they was testing you and learning about the human anatomy. They was using black slaves doing that. They still doing that today.
when you see a whole bunch of men as being treated in these prisons, because slavery is only illegal when you go to prison. So then now, according to the Constitution, so then now they still using, or they testing different shots and different things on black men today. Still doing that today. This is 2023. This ain't 100 years ago, bro.
But he wasn't talking. Look, you're right, but he wasn't talking about slavery in that video.
No,
that's not what he was talking about.
I got you, but I'm going by what you said, that we are not affected by it.
I didn't say we're not affected by it.
Wait. You said that that's not going on to today, and we don't know slaves. I'm telling you that you do. Anybody that you see in prison is still considered a slave. And let's make this perfectly clear here.
Semantics.
Let's make this perfectly clear here. Most of us don't even. We can say, yeah, we come from Africa, but you don't know which tribe you came from in Africa. You might say, oh yeah, I got more Nigerian in me, but you don't know which tribe in Nigeria that you could go back to. If they say everybody go back to your own country or go back to Africa or whatever, right? You don't even know your family back at home. So you still a slave, and you still subjected to your slave master if you don't got your own land. So at the end of the day, let's not be disingenuous, and let's not rule out what you have psychiatrists saying, black psychiatrists. I don't care about what white psychiatrists say. But even though they bear witness to what the black psychiatrists say, when you look at the black men and women of today, you can still see the remnants or the effects of slavery, or the effects of the cause, which was slavery. And you're right, our story don't start on a plantation. I'll let you eat, Jones. I will send back. I'll let you eat. You're right.
When I get a chance, I'll respond.
I got you. Our story doesn't start on the plantation. You 100% right. 100% right. But prior to the plantation, you don't have us running around killing each other. If I ask you what tribe, you can't even give your name. Oh wait, the reason why we starting all
Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu went through Africa slaughtering tribes, bro. What are you talking about?
See, look. No, that's what the enemy taught you. When you
right. That's not history. Okay.
Listen, that's what your enemy taught you. You know why he taught you that? Because when the enemy was trying to conquer the Zulu tribe, they couldn't even defeat Shaka. You know why how they end up defeating the Zulu tribe? It wasn't by war. Guess what they made them to do? They introduced the cross to them. And once they changed their mindset of religion or who God was, that's how the enemy to conquer Zulu. And
my brother, you got to give me a chance to respond.
I'm gonna land my plane right now. I'm gonna land my plane. Everything that I said, let me give you my sources, because what we do is not just up here talk. I can give you sources. Dr. Claude Anderson, Chancellor Williams, Dr.
Those
Ben.
are not sources. Those are people.
I'm giving you my scholars that were back.
All right, hold on.
Give you my brother. I'm not just talking opinion. And Dr.
What you're saying, hold on, brother. What you're saying is valid. What you're saying is valid, and I can acknowledge it's valid. But what you're saying is disingenuous. To say that there was no war between black people before the Europeans, my brother, the reason Europeans were even able to get slaves in the first place, they learned slavery from black people. They didn't have slavery. They learned that from the Moors. And then when they came down to Africa to find more black people, that's when they came down looking for slaves. And they got the slaves from other tribes that captured smaller tribes. That's how they even got the slaves, by trading shit like gunpowder and copper and certain spices. So at the end of the day, bro, like you had, I don't know where this idea that somehow like black people were this one analogous nation where we all just got along, and before the white man showed up, no black people ever had conflict, and we were all just one nation. There have always been, since the beginning of history, different tribes of black people, different languages, different cultures, and there's always been different wars and shit like that going on. I don't know where you got that from, bro. Like war didn't start when what?
That's not what I said. But Marcus, wait. Now what you did what you're doing is disingenuous.
Maybe I misinterpreted you.
100%, because it seemed like you're the only person right now. I think you was listening to rebuttal, because I think you're the only person right now that twisted what I said, which is why Marcus came back to defend, to say that's not what he's saying. First of all, let's be clear here. To say that they learned that from us,
It was Sir John. See, when I'm going to do, I can give you names. So you can go back after this. Y'all can listen to this and go do research. It was Sir John Hawkins, right? Who came and went to the queen and says, because they was trying to enslave themselves first. White people try to enslave themselves. Then they try to enslave the Indians, right, when they first came here. Then they try to enslave the Chinese who built the railroads all through America, which is why their bones is our Asian brothers and sisters, their bones is all through the railroads, all through America. But he said to the queen, I know a group of people. This is his exact language. He said, I know a group of people who never been told a lie. Bro, he said that now this is a white man who tricked us into slavery, the first one, and around 1555. He said that they are so righteous. We talking about the black man or woman. He said that they are so righteous. Did you know, bro? We didn't even have the word lie and steal in our language. We added that.
What tribe are you speaking of?
Listen.
What tribe are you specifically speaking of that he found?
I'm talking about the tribe of Shabazz specifically.
And you're saying all black people come from that tribe?
I said we, the lost found black people of America, we're from that tribe. But that's another topic. Listen, I can give you again. I don't want to go into
my brother.
All right, hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can get let me see if somebody else want to hop in.
My bad.
No, it's all good.
Hope tap magic. I ain't doing it, bro.
Go ahead, Luis.
I'm good.
Yeah, no, this has been a really good good conversation. You know, one of the things that I was sitting here thinking to myself while we were kind of going through this sort of historical Ferris wheel was that history is written by the victor. William Churchill, said that history is written by the victor. And we have to understand historically how many battles have we won? You know what I'm saying? From the moment, whether was it before we got here, during the period we were here, up to today, right? You know what I'm saying? How many battles have we won? You know what I'm saying? What can we declare as victory, right? Because everything this is less about agenda war and really more about disinformation. Disinformation about history, disinformation about culture, religions, traditions, you know what I'm saying? What type of traditions? And those have always been fed through a certain type of media, the printing press, radio, the television, right? Now we have social media. We just have all these different forms of media that are always spreading and sharing this information. Sometimes the information that you hear on one particular side of the coast is completely different than on the completely other side of our coast. You know what I'm saying? And that is always done in a particular type of way to kind of keep us in confusion, keep us arguing, keep us fighting, keep us rebuttaling. The thing that we have to kind of get back to is the basics. We have to get back to grassroots basics, right? Think about the power that we have in the form of dollar in terms of culture. If it doesn't happen here, it doesn't happen in New York, it doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. Travel anywhere outside the world, you will always see Black culture and Black influence imprinted on something anywhere you go, whether it's clothing, fashion, whether it's, attire, whether it's swag, the way someone talks, or certain vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? We have a huge imprint on the world, whether they like us or don't like us. But you have to understand that we have an effect and it travels. Music, food, etc. With that being said, what are the things that, that the great masses need from us, right? You look at the medical field, right? That was one example that was brought up. How they experimented on us and things of that nature. Do you know that a lot of women don't even understand that they can keep their placenta after childbirth? They take that away. And the reason why they take that away from Black women, particularly, and I've had conversations, dozens of conversations with Black women who are doctors and nurses who work in these institutions, right? Is because they take that to use as part of stem cell research in order to find other treatments for dementia, for Alzheimer's and stuff like that, primarily for aging white people who are in their mid to early 50s and 60s, right? And a lot of those things, you know what I'm saying, we don't understand the power that we have in a lot of different items. It's just that knowledge of self has been removed. That knowledge of community, understanding where, you know what I'm saying, we don't have a community grill, right? That's a library, somebody who just understands history, medicine, culture, and all these things, right? They just pass down these things. We don't have that. So what is our grill now today? Social media. This is our grill. Like, let me just do it. Google it, right? And we find it. But in searching for that, there's a lot of other bullshit that's layered on top of it that just gets a lot of people lost. They don't even know where to start looking for this. They can't go to their grandparents because their grandparents might not be around anymore. They just didn't have that kind of family dynamic, right? So who do they really go to understand themselves, understand culture, understand the things that are supposed to help them become a better man or woman in this society, this ever-changing, growing society that is pushing these sort of agendas, whether it's, you know, LGBTQ, whether it's, you know, the war overseas, and all these different ideologies that are devoid from who we are, right? And I think that it's okay that we grow in different aspects in terms of our preferences and religions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there has to be a foundational identity, and that has been eroded. And this is why people take on all these different identities and these different masks, because they still haven't discovered who they really are at their core. Because the sense of community and the sense of, you know, identity of oneself, you know what I'm saying, has been removed. I dare anybody, challenge anybody to take a trip overseas, anywhere you go, your choice, and stop and have a conversation with somebody and let them ask you, you know, tell me something about your culture and what are you proud of? You should be able to name those things quickly and tell somebody quickly who doesn't know you and has no clue where you're from. And if you're unable to do that quickly, then you need to do a lot more deep searching. So I'll leave it there.
I'm kind of with Clout Jones on this one because it's like the dude mentioned patriarchy, so, and it happens everywhere. It's as simple as that. We didn't get that from their culture, no matter how you spin it, because it works everywhere. It's always worked everywhere. It's always been like that and no other way. So we didn't get that from their culture. It's just what works. It's what's responsible for a functional society today.
Patriarchy is a universal language. Patriarchy is just a universal language.
For
like
sure.
we gotta like, I understand women that say, oh, the patriarchy, we gotta destroy the patriarchy. The patriarchy has been around way before you know what I'm saying, any of us here. You know what I'm saying? Patriarchy and what is established is the universal language of what has created society the way that it has. You know what I'm saying?
Patriarchy is what keeps you safe. Patriarchy is what makes sure women could walk out in the street at night if they wanted to, drive a car or do whatever. Without the patriarchy and this organization that we have, and we left men and women to their own devices, what do you think would happen? Women would be devoured immediately. And only women who would still be around and wouldn't wish are the ones who are with men, protect the men. If you did not have a man to protect you and you thought you were independent and everyone was left to their own devices, all those women would be ravished and then perish. Pretty much that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, we don't really have a gender war. We have an agenda war is what we have. We have a misinformation war and a lot of misinformation and a lot of that stuff has been passed down, and this is dead wrong. It's confusing the masses. It's confusing our people the most because that's who's being targeted is us. And our communities are the ones that are suffering the most out of all this misinformation, out of this programming is what's hurting Black people in this country. It's hurting families. It's hurting men and women. It's hurting children. It's keeping us from growing. It's keeping us from evolving. It's keeping us from building as great of a life as we can in this nation, because we're getting stuck on, you know, certain differences in history that at the end of the day doesn't change our circumstance now, but they do affect us. And we can't pretend like our past doesn't affect us today. We can't sit up here and pretend like, you know, the way wealth has been divided up in this country, or maybe how wealth and land and holdings that's been stolen from some of our ancestors and our grandparents and great grandparents doesn't affect us today. We can't pretend that's not the situation. And also, we can't sit up here and pretend like, you know, slavery and all that didn't have anything to do with it. We can't, because it's all an effect. Even with feminism growing at its peak, at its highest point in the 60s and stuff, taking the Black women away from the civil rights movement and having their focus in on the feminist movement, and being a big part of what's dividing us. Crack in the 80s being a part of what's dividing us. Welfare and other issues was dividing us, and social media and TV and LGBTQ and all that other stuff is dividing us now. You know, so we can't keep our eye off the ball and say this doesn't mean shit, that don't mean shit. No, it all affects us. But at the end of the day, what's most important now for us to heal and move forward and get over that shit is to us really to come together and get out of the BS. And the BS is all the shit that's being programmed to our kids now, our teenagers now, and all the shit that we're hearing on the music and everything now for the 20-something-year-olds and whatnot. That's what's messing us up. And that's what's putting us in a position to where we think we're going one step forward, but we're going 2 and 3 steps backwards.
All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and come to a close on this. Gina, $789, $5 says, I was told that I am too nurturing. It's hard because I don't know how to turn that off. I salute to you. I want to say thank you for that.
Don't turn it off.
That's cap. No, that's cap. Whoever told you that is
Thanks
a
for
sucker.
telling us.
Her homegirl told her that.
They a sucker. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Keep doing you, boo. Keep doing you.
She fishing in the comments. That's all. She trying to get it back. She like, yeah, they done told me I'm just too good of a woman.
Been a great show. I want to say thank you to the panel for tonight's conversation. It was definitely epic. We had a little bit of some of everything, and we ended it with history. So let's make sure we support each other. We had a few people that had to drop off, so make sure you rewind and watch it from the beginning, and go ahead and go to their IGs and YouTube pages, and let's make sure we support each other. I want to thank all my Green Gang, Angela Swift, Torrance, who else we got in there? CC, Doug Will is in the building. What's going on, brother? Shout out to all my Green Gang. Click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat and go green. I want to just thank the viewers and everybody that was in the chat that's not Green Gang as well. So I guess we out, man. Y'all good? Y'all cool? Okay.
It's lit.
Yeah. Great show.
Yo, good night, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
Great
Coach,
show.
I actually
Good
the
night.
back chat. Check the back chat. I was curious about something.
All right, check the back chat, you guys, for y'all head up. Yeah, especially with all that Dwight Howard shit.
No, I didn't.
Tonight is great about it. Extra read about it. Say you want to beef about it. We gon' like tonight read about it. Extra read about it. Say you want to beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Tonight is great about it. Extra read about it. Say you want to beef about it.
We gon' come and see about it. Flexing they discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it.
Mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. I'm eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Yo, the run around, high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Geo, the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still let it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me, so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra, read about it. Headline, word around town, flexing. Falling on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't no problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service, don't come unless you bring it condoms to me.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping.
Everything is straight. Wave. Yeah. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat fleet with the bare face and a slick tongue. That's what she say. She look good. She a big tease when she bite lip with the wink face. Hella bad when she throwing it back. She bring out my way for the team play. For Pete's sake, I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. I'm the 2010 young LeBron James with the backboard, type of bad boy. Hold it down for the task force. If I run his face, then you ask for it. Niggas cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. The live show needed passport, cause the beat bounce to the caps on. Feel like I live it fast forward, but I asked for it. Misfit got a quick lit on a crash course from the tattered garment to the tabloid. Fuck how I live it into existence. Might be ahead of myself, but the bank account did drop up a couple figures. Feel like nobody could fuck with us. I'm a flight risk. I play among the stars in the Hollywood Hill to space. They shit couldn't even get in touch with it. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. But everything I say turn into the real thing. I tell her run it up, cause you know it ain't a thing. We made it up the slide. Words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. But everything I'm saying turn into the real thing. I've been living like I'm famous. Like I don't show my face, I'm jumping on the stage. Like I'm living in a daydream. Stop to the imagination. She only want me when she fake. She couldn't tell me I'm a fake. She ain't told no lie, she love it when I catch my cadence. She gone off the deep end, pull up every weekend. I hate to let her down, but I'm in a fast life, sorry, never slowing me down. Heartbreak, jumping like a no sleep out. How you switch up, you always help me down. I know why I turned into a cold of me now. It could be worse, right? I got where I'm at without no work-life balance. You tell me that it's love, but I'm knowing that it's madness. Swap with me, God, cause it's for the same fabric. No, I really can't complain. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. Everything I say turn into the real thing. Tell them run it up, you know it ain't a thing. We made it out the songs with the words on the page. Everything is straight. I've been on the way. Everything I'm saying turn into the real day.